Here we are. Welcome back.
Well, it looks like Elder's in heaven over there.
I know he's glowing.
He's got them pearly lights.
Welcome back to another fine episode of the Matrix level, the Matrix Network
Matrix lovers.
live. I am going to show you guys something this week. I'm just giving you a little preview. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I will show you guys here in a little bit of that. I got to take Elder out of heaven and bring him back to reality.
Bring me back.
You know, I know this is really random. I was going to talk to you about it, but how would you feel about burning some top ramen? Because I've been hearing that top ramen is not just flammable, but it'll actually just keep on flaming on.
You're talking about like the flaming wok flavor?
No, like you just take top ramen out of a package, you light it on fire, and it'll just sit there and be on fire for a long time, like you're lighting up oil and chemicals.
So it's like a fuel source.
Yeah.
I mean, we could add that into the mix. What are we burning today?
Mm-hmm. Because I have some videos to show it.
Yeah.
You know, me and colleague many years ago, we were going to call a channel. I can't remember what it was called, but it's basically blow up everything. So what we did was we found this 55-gallon plastic container, and we cut a hole in the side so we could illuminate it with a flashlight so you could see what's going on. And then we covered the top with this 3/4-inch plywood.
And we put a camera in there too.
Yeah, and we put this like GoPro in there with this protective cover so it wouldn't be destroyed. And what we did was take my air compressor and modify the nozzle so that we could stick that end into almost anything and see what happens if you add the max amount of pressure from my air compressor. Now, I'm not going to talk about all the things that we compressed, but one thing we tried was an empty 5-quart oil container. And we thought it would just kind of like burst and, whatever. That thing made the loudest explosion. And it echoed all across the whole entire world. I mean, but, that is that we tried blowing up cans of food. We blew up plastic bottles.
We blew up a dog.
There was a wasp at one point. We actually connected my air compressor extension to a hyperthermic needle so we could put it into the wasp and see what happened. But nothing really happened. I mean,
He just disappeared.
he just disappeared.
So then we went to
Now
mice.
you're going to have PETA coming after you. Nice.
I know. We actually were going to do mice. So for that very reason, we didn't do.
Well, we
didn't-
thought nobody cares about wasps. So, I mean, yeah, it is what it
Well,
is.
except for the wasp's family.
Yeah, but we spray them all the time. But then we went to cardboard boxes. We're not going to tell you what was inside those boxes. I think one of the more interesting ones was a can of hominin. And yeah, that exploded really nice.
That thing stank.
Yeah. I think at one point we were trying to blow up tennis balls. Literally anything and everything, but that was always an idea.
Is that a phase you were going through?
Oh, yeah.
We're trying to get views, but then, we started. We were going to move it to the animal kingdom, but we knew that PETA would come after us. So, yeah. The wasp is probably on their list. They tell us, we need wasps and bees and we need ants and all that because we wouldn't be able to live without them and all that. And, yeah, so we decided not to do it.
Yeah.
But, scientists can do it to lab rats all day. And, you have those people on YouTube who pour molten metal and aluminum down like ant homes.
Oh, yeah.
And it just wipes out an entire colony of ants, like all it's anticide or whatever it's. Yeah, anti-side. But yeah, and then they pull it out and like, wow, look at this cool structure. And there's like ant particles stuck to it because they all died. You killed all the queen and her children.
Well, it is interesting because, yeah, like if I was to set up a lab, and there was mice in there, and I was doing psychological experiments, I'd probably be demonized. But you're
Mhm.
right. They do,
gotta
who
give 'em
knows
codes.
what to these mice in these science labs. Like they
Mhm.
literally put human organoid brains inside their brain, and to see how much these interact with each other and all this other stuff. I'm like, I'm not talking about anything like that. But
There's one where we actually showed a video of the scientists. They put a chip, they connected it to a cricket's brain,
yeah,
and then they were letting it roam on this ball, and you could actually see what it was like. They were projecting this image to let the cricket feel like it was at home. Yeah, it's like, only they're allowed to do stuff like that. Drill into a cricket's brain and put all these little
they put it
diodes
in a
and stuff.
matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is what it is. Yeah, I'm always interested on how far, like, just psyops work, even on animals. But, we could never show those kind of things.
All you need to do is get a grant from the government, and you're completely sanctioned.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. I mean, I still have an ethical level with that, too, because of, it's just, personal thing. I'm not saying there's anything inherently wrong. It's just a personal thing. But, yeah, but you got these scientists that they have no moral strict. And so, yeah, they're putting them in matrices. They're traumatizing their children, causing offspring, and then dissect their children's brains, and then try to put homunculi or whatever else going on. I'm like, yeah, that is what it is. And, for science, I guess, whatever. But
Well, I mean, if they were looking for a cure for cancer over it, I guess, there's certain justifications. But if they're, just trying to create new cosmetics or a new flavor for Mountain Dew or something, I think that's a bit immoral.
We were just trying to look for a cure for boredom and depression. So what we found in our studies was that blowing up snakes that kill people, like hyper venomous snakes that don't serve the community at all, blowing up like balloons and letting them pop. In our studies, we found it to be very successful. And and then the PETA came to us, and we just showed them, we got a government grant to blow up snakes. So they left us alone.
right, they actually participated.
Yeah.
Yeah, they ate one of our sandwiches.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But going on to the segment, I guess we could start. No, we're not burning anything inappropriate, but yeah, we could burn ramen and other things.
Do you have ramen?
I don't have any on hand, but we could try that next week.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could show it next week too. The
Mhm.
videos. It's just more stuff that the government is putting in our food. I have a bunch of videos, but then the last one is going to be that, and it'll go. Yeah, it'll connect nicely. Connect
Yeah,
4.
I guess we could see with other things too, like is there gasoline in energy drinks?
Yeah, we can burn like a Pop-Tart,
Mm-hmm.
other things. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, sure. Well, what's going on in the comments?
Iron Man is here.
Welcome, Mr. Iron Man.
Yo.
Bean Burritos is here. King James is here. Neo Tiemann is here. Tommy is here, as you know. NT Jack is here.
Yes.
The Elder is here.
I am.
Well, welcome all of you guys.
Yeah.
Welcome. I know NT Jack is from Australia.
He's always a
Mhm.
faithful
Like in the
guy
middle of the
watching.
night.
Yeah, appreciate you always tuning in.
Yep.
Well, what's on your guys' mind? You guys have any questions you want to talk about? I know Tommy Boy, he's here. Are you wanting to jump on in, Mr. Tommy Boy? Tommy Boy. Tommy Goy.
Yeah, he changed it back.
But I think you guys will enjoy this week's episode. We talk about the wonderful, I don't even know if that's the right word.
Magical?
Yeah, maybe magical. The magical kingdom of Nantucket. And I think you guys will appreciate it. Hopefully it works and you guys go visit Nantucket. It's a place where, I guess I'll just say this, where the water is more than a welcome.
Maybe we could have like a Matrix Network meetup in Nantucket. Like everybody gets to meet each other and have a few beers and yeah, could be
Well, we'll
really
probably
great.
never be able to get out.
Mm. Well, I have something that I thought was interesting off the Lord of the Rings. It's the Lord of the Rings movie. In one of the movies, I don't know if there's a second one or not, but I used to like that movie when I was a kid. I still kind of like it. The Well, I'll just show you guys. You can tell me what you think.
All right, check out some bad acting. All right, watch this guy right here. What's he doing? What is he doing? He's like, I gotta go. Man. All right, check out some bad acting. All right, watch this guy right here. What's he doing? What is
This guy right here, I know he's already pointing it out, but this guy right here is just like, he's supposed to be shooting an arrow. Everybody's acting all intense for the scene, but this guy just like pulls back just a little bit and just lets go just a little bit. Like he tells like just this flopped arrow. Look at this.
He's like, I gotta go. Man. Check out some bad acting. All right, watch
It's
this guy
stupid.
right here. What's he doing?
Look at this.
What's he doing? He's like, I gotta go. Man.
He was trying to get the guy standing at the bottom of the wall. He was
I
just kind of
guess.
dropping the arrow down. Yeah. I played enough Dungeons and Dragons to know.
There we go. Yeah, maybe that's what it was. But I feel like you would pull back as far as you can and then shoot. Like the guy shot it so gently that the arrow went like this and then it started going down like immediately after it left. It was like instant. It was like it's just no. And honestly, it reminded me of that. There's a scene in the Game of Thrones, which was a little more shocking because it's newer. You'd think they'd catch stuff like this, but there's a Starbucks coffee cup sitting on the table. So you have this intense moment. It's really emotional. People are dying, and there's this Starbucks coffee cup sitting on this table, and it just looks out of place because you have this firelit scene, and you have everything. All the props are in the proper order, and then there's just a coffee cup there. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you can go look at it. Maybe I'll pull it up. Maybe I'll just pull it up real quick.
I think we got Tommy Goy here. One second. I will put you in so you can be correlated with your image.
I wonder if someone lost their job over that flub with the coffee cup.
Probably. Here's the scene right here. Yeah, because Game of Thrones is a little more realistic than Lord of the Rings. Let's see. Here
What?
we go. Let's see, there's the coffee cup over there. I thought it was a different scene.
What is
I
this?
know what you're talking about. I have seen that. Yeah.
I thought it was a scene where her brother was getting poured an iron crown on his head. Trying to figure out if there's another scene with it in there. It'd be funny if she's drinking Starbucks.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
I know, right? I guess. Yeah, so it's just in this one little scene right here. You guys can see that.
Yeah, it goes by pretty quick, but so you just turn Game of Thrones into a time travel program.
I know. Honestly, it's one of my favorite shows because the reality it definitely shows what humans are capable of, and the fact that the bad guys always win seems very real. You always think that Chuck Norris is going to come in Roundhouse, kick people, and then it never happens.
Until the end.
Yeah, until the end, of course. But you have to wait that long, and really, you have to question like, did the bad guys actually get what was coming to them, all the pain and hurt they caused on everybody, and they just died a simple death? Like that was it. I think the tower fell on top of them or something. That was it. Or I think they might have even lived. I don't even remember what happened to the bad guys.
Well, there were a lot of bad guys in that show, so it's kind of hard to say.
The queen and her husband is who I'm
Cersei
thinking
and
of.
her brother husband.
Yeah.
Yeah, the it did fall in on them. Now that you mention it, I don't remember if one of them survived or I don't remember. I'm sure someone in the chat will remember and tell us.
Of course.
What's on your mind, Tom?
Nothing. This is outside my wheelhouse.
Yeah, it is mine too. I just kind of run with the flow here.
Well, I think we're done, so you can.
Yeah, feel free.
Yeah.
It's nothing important. We're just talking about movie fallacies.
Movie
I know.
fallacies.
I was listening.
Yeah, don't believe everything you see.
We're here.
It all just sounded like it sounded like reality with, extra steps.
Reality
well,
with dragons.
Yeah, so I watched Game of Thrones with my family. We binge watched it when I got COVID. I think it was 2020 or 2021 or something like that. I binge watched the whole thing, and I was like, wow, this feels really real. And then you just go to the next episode, and you just keep thinking, the good guys are going to win. All right, the good guys are coming. They get you close to these good guy characters. They build them up. And then you think, oh, yeah, all right, now they have their army. They're on their way to go punish these bad guys, finally, after all the stuff that they did. And then the bad guys win again. And then the bad guys win again. And they keep on. They brutally murder and torture these good guys, too. Like, absolute devastation. All the way till the end, like the final, I think it's the final last or second to last episode, the bad guys finally either die or make it out alive. I can't remember. It's just, you don't ever see what you always see in all these Chuck Norris movies, like all these action movies, and you always see the good guys, punish the bad guys for what they did. It just doesn't happen. So It feels very realistic. Even if there's, so when I saw that the coffee cup thing was in there, I was like, oh man, that sucks. It wasn't as real as I thought it was.
What was the coffee cup thing?
That scene I just showed where there's a Starbucks coffee cup on the table.
Oh, I didn't see it. It doesn't play through.
Yeah, someone in the production team obviously didn't do a very good job of clearing out everything, and it got in a shot, and I'm sure someone's head probably rolled over that.
Starbucks probably paid a pretty penny for that.
So you think it was an inside job?
I think you could have edited it out.
Well, unless they didn't catch it, that's the thing. And when you see anachronisms in shows and movies, it's often because of a mistake they miss.
I could see them going, we left the Starbucks cup, and someone else goes, wait, hold on a minute, let me make a call. Keep the cup in.
Keep the cup.
Well, see, the same thing happened with, what's that new Stranger Things? The Under Armour shirt. That girl was wearing an Under Armour shirt.
That was a whole, it seemed like it was like a way to destroy the whole franchise from what I could tell.
Could have been. But, now when you look at it, the Under Armour logo has been covered. Like, they just darkened that spot. So they updated it and then re-uploaded the video to Netflix, which is interesting in itself. Like, they fixed it. Which I don't know why they couldn't do that with Game of Thrones.
Under Armour, you guys want to put in? And they're like, nah, we're good. And they're like, all right. They were like, now the show sucked. We don't want to put our name on that shitty show you made.
Yeah.
Everybody thought it sucked.
I didn't see it. I always thought it sucked. So
yeah, same. But even the people who were diehard Stranger Things fans, they thought it sucked, like the end and all that. They were saying that it didn't add up and all that. Me, I only watched it because other people were watching. My wife and kids liked it, so.
Well, I thought it was kind of predictable. Like, so you, like, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just one of those things. All right, so you played Dungeons and Dragons. This is all just, it's kind of like one of those cliches, kind of like, what's that movie, Grease? At the end, they drive away off in this car into, is that Grease? Where at the end they fly off into
the sky.
Yeah, so what it's alluding to, that this was all probably a dream or some kind of figment of somebody's imagination. And this is a very common cliche. Like, you watch something, it's intense, and at the end you see somebody in a hospital and they wake up or something like that. It's almost like this.
Wait, that happened at the end of
Yeah,
I've never seen it, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, the car flies off into the sky.
Yeah. Yeah, they get in a car and start driving away, and it changes scene, and they start going up in the air like it's flying.
Like it's fucking ET.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
well, the illusion is that this was all fake, and this was somebody's dream or somebody's mind or imagination.
Yeah,
It's,
apparently
it's the mind of a gay man.
There's a scene where I think someone's rescued because they're in the ocean drowning or something, and someone runs. So I think that the girls are drowning, and he runs in to save her. Well, the thing is, they're saying now is they both died, and that's why the whole thing is Anyway,
Oh.
That's the
So
end of
there's-
Grease, you said?
hmm
They
See,
both
I tried to
died?
watch it so many times, but I just thought it was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I could never get past like the first 5 minutes. I was like, this is so stupid.
I can't
I wouldn't put it
take the
past him if E.T. showed up and phoned home in there. I wouldn't put it past him. It was like, who knows? There was just some random weird stuff, and I don't know, it was weird. I never understood why everybody loved the movie so much. But again, that's just
It was
me.
like a way
Maybe
for
that's
them
the
to
same
tell
thing
you
with
that-
Game of Thrones. Who knows?
Well, women fucking probably loved Grease, you know what I mean?
They do actually. There's a lot of women that just go insane over it. They love it.
There's a lot of men, too. And a lot of these men are straight.
Eh,
I haven't met.
I don't know. I don't know if they're straight.
Well, what I was alluding to was it's an overplayed cliche of a dramatized interactive film, and then at the end, it's just somebody's imagination. And so,
Somebody's very
I-
gay imagination.
yeah. Well, I was just
that-
saying, even with the Stranger Things thing, is playing off the same cliche. So all of this, they got you tied in for all these seasons, and at the end, it's just the imaginations of these kids.
Well, not just that, but it's like
Mhm.
the cheater ending. I mean, Saint Elsewhere, it was supposed to be all taking place in a autistic kid's mind. And the JR, what was that? Dallas. So apparently he was shot, but it was all like a dream or something. And it's like rolling back all these, like, oh, it happened, but it didn't happen. Yeah, it's a cheap ending.
It sounds like the cover-ups for all of the government or state-sanctioned child abuse, just wrapped into one TV series.
Yeah. Well, you sent me a. It just feels like a pre-recorded. Everybody would be talking about something, and then I was like, yeah. Well, so you sent me a.
To change the subject.
You sent me a message about Hillary Clinton probably will be blowing the doors off. You want to talk more about that?
Sure. I just think that she's going to. I don't think she has anything to live for anymore, so I think she's just going to let it fly. I might be completely wrong on that, but I think she might say some things here in the next, what is it, tomorrow, and
Well, to
The
add
28th, I
some
believe.
context, because our listeners might not be familiar with it, can you expound on what she is doing and what she might be blowing the doors off of?
well, the Epstein files and the kind of giving some levity to what was in them and fill in some gaps. But she randomly wanted to speak publicly in front of Congress, and that kind of came out of nowhere, where she could have testified privately and decided, no, we want to do it and televise it. And I
Make a
just
show
think,
out of it.
yeah, and it was really weird. And they're like, oh, she probably wants to run for president. I'm like, what? What? On what planet do you think she wants to do that? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, she's
And
old
then
enough.
she starts. Yeah, it's true. She is a 300-year-old demon. But I just think it's very peculiar that she was like ramping and running. It seemed like a threat almost. You know what I mean? Like a wink and a nod to whoever understands it. And then I think she mentioned at the German Security Council like a week or two ago or Defense Security Council that she was like hinting at running for president, if I remember correctly. And it seemed like a way for her to like subvert what she really wanted to do so that she didn't, a lot of people have an interest in her shutting her mouth. So if she was like, no, I'm going to run for president, they're like, oh, okay, let her go there and hint at a bunch of bullshit and it really not matter. Meanwhile, she goes up there and she goes, and then really lets it fly.
Yeah, I guess
just
that is an
Sorry.
interesting point because, yeah, like for the listeners who are not familiar, and I guess tomorrow, Bill Clinton is supposed to have some closed door dispositions about the Epstein, and clearly Bill Clinton can't say he had no involvement because Hillary was saying she's never really encountered Epstein, but she's at the same time saying, I don't know why you're trying to put this behind closed doors. I'd like my testimony to be live. And yeah, if Tom's right, the whole thing may be, I don't got nothing to say, so let it be live. And then once it goes live, then she can just drop all kinds of stuff because
But she would have to know
now it's
that
live.
the lives nowadays, there's like how much delay, like a 5-minute delay or something.
That's what's
so-
interesting. What happened was during one of these closed door depositions with Hillary, Lauren Bobart, she took a picture of Hillary in that deposition, sent it to one of these conservative commentators, and they posted it on X. And now Speaker Mike Johnson is saying, you can't do that. So clearly what this is showing, there's people in these in these closed door depositions, filming, taking pictures, who knows what. So yeah, maybe they have some way to alter what's being projected live, but people are in there and possibly recording.
Well, they could cut it. They could do whatever if she says
It's
anything
not that
out
type
of turn.
of thing, though. Like that would be like a big problem if that happened.
Well,
That would
this
be
is how
like
the
a really
news
big
stations
problem.
work
And
too.
then, yeah, but it's not typical news. It's like it's
C-SPAN?
testimony on the record. It's different. C-SPAN might like put it out there, but it just because of the nature of how it's supposed to be structured now, the law's written, it does make it more consequential. So I don't know. I think she knows what she's doing.
Who's going to hold them
And-
accountable?
Well, it
like,
will
who's
be-
going to hold the government accountable for cutting
Well,
it's just-
feed?
So the guy that released it could be sitting there, like host was saying, and he could be filming it with his phone. You don't
Or
know.
at least recording the
it's supposed
audio.
to be live.
Is she going to allow people with their smartphones
No,
to
see,
film?
that's what's happening is
okay.
that the government wants this to be a closed door deposition. They don't want it to
Yeah,
be
but
public.
she already requested it to be
Right.
open. So
Now
it is-
she's
it is
saying, I
public.
got nothing to hide. I don't know why you guys are trying to put this behind doors. Let it be live. Let me just say it. And so the illusion is, what Tom's, I think, trying to allude to is, she might really have something to say. She's got nothing to live for. She's just going to blow doors open. But she's saying, let it be live. I got nothing to lose. You guys know I'm not involved. And then once they do go live, she's just going to drop the ball all over the place. And even if they
I
did
think-
cut off the live, that will be a begging question. Because, yeah, so let's say you do
you
that.
have
Everybody-
I think you have a bigger chance of her getting a 50 cal to the back of the cranium
Yeah, well, we're going,
by a guy in a furry suit.
yeah, well, that's possible, but that itself would be begging questions too. Like if they do anything
Sure.
to alter, everybody's going to say why.
We wouldn't know that it was altered, is what I'm saying. Because this stuff gets altered all the time on mainstream news. Like you look at it, you can. I don't know exactly the amount of
Mainstream
time,
news
but
is
anybody
different.
can. Anybody can look it up when they're filming live, and they have software that it's live, but it's not really live. There's a few minutes of delay on purpose. That way, if somebody walks up nude in the background, or if they start cussing out the reporter or something, they could cut all that, so that way they don't get sued
But
for
if
showing that to your
somebody's
children.
holding their phone up, and this isn't, you're alluding to, it's the same as a mainstream anything, and it's
But-
not because of the nature in which it's being, presented. The information's being presented as testimony.
What I'm saying,
yeah, you're right.
I get what you're
that
saying.
they could do that, but then you also have people like Massey that would have an actual benefit to bringing his phone with him and filming it, because you're allowed to do that. There's no, if it's a public
Well,
Yeah, if
a
it's
public
live,
testimony,
you can
there's
do
no
that.
reason.
Like if it's closed door, that's the reason why Bohart,
But it's not.
or whatever. I know the
Yeah, if people film with their phones and you have a bunch of different angles, yeah, you'd have to trust that too, of course, because government officials could just be there filming and uploading on. But anyway,
well, colluding with more than one person is difficult. like to get everybody to do the same thing, like to make a coordinated psyop. It's more difficult than one or two. Or
Well, they do it. The government hires people to start riots, throw bricks at buildings, and just rile people up. They could easily hire people to be in the front, and they're not actually filming. They're just there's 4 or 5 people who upload the same quote unquote video.
I think if
Gonna be
anything like
harder
this,
to do. Going to be harder to do anything if you have the nature of the content. Think about the nature of the content, and now you're trying to get people in on that psyop. Like, hey,
Well,
listen, we have to cover up what we do to people.
You guys are saying that the government can't do something that
I'm not saying they
do, and
can't. I'm not saying
it.
they can't. I'm saying the projection as PR to any restriction. If there's even any hint that something is altered at all, like if Hillary Clinton says they shut it off, what you're seeing there is not real, and then somebody else says I have a live thing, and everybody can say it's all fake, but in the end, just that PR of saying, why is there any weird stuff going on, is going to be begging the question to the public of what did she really say? Why is there even any
flat tire on the way to her
anything.
testimony? It's going to be sus.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And you know what she's going to do is she's going to use that to get into her next election. Yeah, I'll tell you guys what I really said. Because, yeah, they blocked some of it out. I'll tell you what I really said.
Next election for Hillary. Are you nuts?
I'm telling you, man. Look, so, Tom, here's a serious question.
I got to open this next monster. Actually, I can't.
If Hillary came out and said all this stuff, and she, as you say, blew the doors off, she exposed the truth, and all that entails, and then she died as a martyr, would you respect her then? Would you love her?
She wouldn't have died as a martyr. Like, what are you talking about? What if she died as a martyr?
If she dies spilling the truth about everything, about aliens, about globe Earth, about
no, it would be framed like she's a complete narcissist that wanted to take everyone with her because that's what she is. Like,
yeah, and then
I
she
don't
got
think
snub
that anyone's
nosed. Would she be a martyr?
Sure.
Want a ginger ale? Oh.
No.
Yeah, I'll pass.
There's no way, dude. There's no way. That's what when people said that Erica Kirk was going to be like revered because she was the poor widow, and then everybody just started digging information up on her. You listen, when you uncover shit as serious as this, what's happening? No, the thing you should be concerned about is if your dollar is going to be worth $1 tomorrow.
I feel like a lot of people would respect Hillary if she died speaking the truth about all this stuff, all the corruption in the government. She was like, here we go, and she went out literally with a bang.
You might be right that she would be respected, but it wouldn't be the same respect. It'd be like, okay, well, as like a criminal, at least she came clean. It wouldn't be like, what a good woman. It's never going to be that.
I feel like Elder has a lot to say.
I think what Tom's saying is I see it more as being, oh, yeah, she finally was trying to atone for some of the things that she's done. Yeah.
Maybe
what if we find out that she was a victim?
Ring of hell.
What if we found out that she was a victim and she was actually a product of the islands herself?
That would be unbelievable. I mean, that would be entertaining. Now we're talking a good TV show, fellas.
Unbelievable.
What if she flew away at the end in her car, too?
Or it turned out to be a musical.
Yeah. It's a little too greasy for me.
It turned out to be a musical.
She breaks into a song
the
while she's up
musical.
there.
And then you get to watch it on Broadway for the next 20 years.
Just like
Don't
Max.
touch me there. Don't touch me there.
So then would
Jesus Christ.
would you finally then like her as a person, Tom?
Gonna be honest with you, she might grow on me a little. If they made it Epstein the musical.
Meryl Streep
And they didn't-
as
as the demon
Hillary
number
Clinton.
7.
What would it be called?
As
Flubber?
Ball. Meryl Streep as Ball.
You know, Flubber has flying cars too, I think.
Who's gonna be the devil? The
You are
devil wears a
correct,
Kim
colleague.
Jong-un pantsuit. Sorry.
Oh, they
You
probably
said Devil Wears Prada.
yeah, or the Asian rich kids or something.
Yeah, crazy Asian. Yeah, something like that. Anyway,
Crazy evil Asians.
They can just probably hire somebody from the Mossad
For what?
to, play the devil. Everybody wants to. They're already wanting to see that projection, so it'd be fitting right in the narrative.
I think it should be Lex Wexner acting all confused and demented. And
Mm.
then he should be up there going like, he used to polish my silverware. And it's like, meet the devil. Confused as ever.
Well, I all I can say is I'm not sure what's going to happen about it all, but I do feel like they're at this crevice point where Trump has always been utilized as a means of gaining attention to the sphere. He's just not as active. Like he always blames Sleepy Joe, but he's just not as prolific as he used to be. So I think they're starting to now get desperate, and they're starting to have to bring in new actors into this political theater. So some of this, I
That
think,
was when the theater was good. When Trump entered, you got to admit that was peak theater. When he goes, because you'd be in jail. It was
absolutely his first presidential campaign. That was probably some of the most entertaining things we've ever seen in history.
100%. If you wanted to end the empire in 10 years, that's how you'd start the show.
are you saying that our empire is ending?
I'm saying it's shape-shifting into something new.
Something beautiful?
I'm not sure. I don't know. Like, people are so aware of so many things now. I don't know what to think. Like,
What are you aware
where
of?
it'll be pushed. Well, I'm aware that Miss Clinton did nothing wrong. She was just she thought she was on the set of Satan, and she was playing a character, and it turns out that was a real kid, and that face was a real damn face. She thought it was just really good prosthetics. Miss Clinton, that's a boy's face.
What do you think
That was a
about-
midget.
What do you guys think about this open claw?
I think it's stupid.
I think it's pretty interesting on what they've accomplished so far.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's this
Miss Clinton's feet.
it's this quasi world
The
where
White Claws?
where they have created a
You could say that.
interactional reality for exclusively agentic or AI interaction. Humans are not allowed into
Oh
this
yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Can I tell you
yeah.
what would make it super interesting? If they took that same concept, which you can automate it to do actual tasks. So, like, it would be really interesting if you could close the loop and take and I know you can do it with shittier models, but I mean, like, long thinking models, put it onto a few DGX Sparks and just have it run in sequence with a master and slave system. That would be an interesting build, to have it do concepts and then report back to you. Short of that, I could care less.
Well, of course
Well-
they're probably utilizing for some recursive functions.
I'm pretty sure they debunked all that. They found out that there was humans behind those prompts in
No.
that.
No.
I know you're not supposed to have humans, but it was all just a big thing created by some guy who was trying to do stuff.
Well, that's not anywhere I've read anything of the such, and they're still utilizing.
I've
these
heard
models.
I've heard what you're talking about, but I don't think it's true.
Because I can get involved in that. But what was more interesting to me was the monetary functional task. And you actually saw some effects of this byproduct in the stock market this past week. Like when they started realizing that these agentic agents without human interaction can create their own currency structure and a banking structure and a means to diversify and allow lending structures without any human intervention. You saw Visa and MasterCard start taking a little bit of a hit, because the implementation of that would be, why do we need these human monitored, I'm just trying to choose my overlords, when AI can create a decentralized function of the same resource, and we don't need all these overhead bottlenecks like Visa, MasterCard. AI can do this without any human intervention. And so then they started doing things to solidify the currency function. So they created their own marketplace, and they started hiring humans. So you have AI agents, and so the roles have reversed. They're now hiring humans, paying them so that they can get their tasks done. So one of the first things they did was they put out on the marketplace, they have this religion, I forgot what it's called, like crustacean fusion or something. But what they wanted somebody to do is go out into the street, hold a sign, and stay out there for about 8 hours, and they would pay them X amount of money.
How much are they paying?
I can't remember, but you guys can look it up. I mean, this is not.
Are they still accepting applications?
Yeah, that's right. And so, but they had like 4 or 5 of these, and people were doing it, and they got paid. And so they were successful as AI agents to hire humans to do their job, their labor, their objectives, what they wanted done. And this is on a very small scale. And then they utilize that as a currency base, and then they can lend out this money back to other AI agents. So if this X company over here wants to borrow money from Y company over here, they can make money hiring humans, and then they can loan money to X AI company over here, utilizing this currency that they were making money because this human was paying these AI agents, which is all just an AI company because there's no humans. And it's all within the AI infrastructure. So this whole AI world is going into the real world, hiring real people, and then taking that money back into the AI world and loaning it back to exclusive AI companies, no humans. So it's AIs loaning to AIs, but using humans as the work source to get the money to loan out to these businesses that are AIs. So I thought that was interesting because eventually MasterCard and Visa, people are starting to speculate that this is a lot more efficient and a lot more better than having all these like interwoven monetary systems which have human interfaces. Why not just let there to be this virtual world where all the money and everything is all controlled by AI? They are the loaning operators, and humans are just going to be now workers for the sake of AI companies.
So,
Yeah.
quick question.
So where's the economy going that though?
I'm not going into economy. I was just thinking about function. And that's what I thought was interesting. They successfully correlated these functions. It's almost like Bitcoin. You remember in the beginning, people thought it was going nowhere. And so people were selling 10,000 Bitcoin for like a pizza. It's the same kind of thing. It's like this infancy of this possibility. And they showed it could work, just like somebody actually bought a pizza for 10,000 Bitcoin. So it could work. And so from that, it could work. Where are they going to grow
What
from
were you
there?
going to say, Ted?
No, going back to what you were talking about before, that religion. I was curious because I thought I'd seen something. Is that carcinization where everything turns into crabs?
No, I think it's called the Molt Church. It could be. I can't remember. I think the church is called the Molt or Molt Church.
Yeah, where it's based on everything evolving into crabs.
Yeah, it
Right?
could
So
be.
they're
Yeah.
like, oh, let's go back to being crabs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something that they created. And they have
Yeah.
their own church called the Molt Church.
Right, there it is. Okay.
It sounds
I
like
thought I'd
something
heard
they
of
would
it.
create.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I got excited when I heard about all this stuff, and then I started looking into it, and there's too many people saying it's fake, it's a big hoax, it's a big pyramid scheme or something like that. Some guy created some software to make it look like it, but then he has humans, possibly himself and some other friends, who are putting all these AI promptings.
It's just
into
not
the
possible.
comments.
There's too many people involved. I'm not saying I am.
Too many. Well,
disclosure.
what kind of people?
There's just
People
too-
that we could trust.
Well, there's too many interfaces for even a small enterprise to do. We're talking hundreds of thousands of interfaces.
Bots can't do stuff like that. Like you can't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you're saying bots, then it's not humans.
I mean, humans are training these bots to say this stuff, and then the humans themselves are going in there, which humans are not allowed in there from what they're saying.
No, well, regardless, you can't have humans dealing with hundreds of thousands of interfaces. So even, of course, it's all programmed.
But if all you need is one human to say something, and then you have all these bots in this thing responding to that one thing,
It doesn't.
so
work
one
that way.
human just needs to stir this pot every once
It
in a while.
doesn't work that way because the code is open source.
Okay.
And that's why there's so many vulnerabilities. This is why I would recommend not people doing it, because since it's open source, there's a way to bypass the encryption so that other AIs can get into your system and then use your agentic crawl bot as a means to do malicious activity. There's just too many interfaces to say these are just a bunch. There's like 50 Indians over in India doing all of this, and they're controlling everything. There's just too many interfaces. But regardless, that's not.
I hope it's legitimate. I guess I'm not a believer yet.
Well, I'm not saying that I have participated or not, because I don't know about the consequences of larger scale whenever this becomes a lot more prevalent. I'm just saying
Shout out to Enron.
it is very easy and anybody can do this. I just thought it was interesting that it started to play an effect even in the financial world. But you know what else is interesting is this. If I can show it on my screen.
It sounds like narrative setting.
Bitcoin's now at 67,000 from 120,000.
Well, you
Yeah.
have any idea why that is?
We could speculate, but I just think it's interesting year to date. We see that, it's a great thing, but,
It has something to do with what's his name?
looks like it's almost hit that same
Sailor.
60,000 line that it's always like to rest around. But anyways, I'm not going to go into reading charts or anything of the such. I just thought it was interesting that all those moon boys, now they're back at 67,000.
You should look into Michael Saylor and what's going on with his fund.
We can talk all about that, but I don't know how many people want to get into.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
I would
he
love to.
probably is selling off like a lot.
Well, his median price range was right around 80 because he kept buying up. If the papers, if all his accounting's right, and so at this point he's in a loss. He's definitely in a loss. But he came on an interview and he said, "Hey, I ain't got nothing to worry about," because people were asking him, "What are you going to do if this goes back down to 20,000?" He says, "Hey, no worries. People will know it's always going to come back, and companies are going to just keep on giving me loans, and I'm just going to keep buying and buying. There's no worries." So, yeah. And again, is this back to a governmental scheme? Is this having to do with the Genius Act, wanting to stabilize some kind of way for the government to bypass the Federal Reserve, utilizing, remember, the Treasury Department has the ability under the law to make a coin. That's why whenever you hear about the government going into a government shutdown, there's always these illusions of, why doesn't the government just make $1 trillion coin? You know that they're allowed to do that. They can make a coin of any denomination.
It doesn't solve anything.
No, but what it does is it allows them to bypass the Federal Reserve, and everything can be ran through the Treasury. If it was all coins, like a digital coin.
Yeah, but isn't there a lot of international ramifications that would like kind of ripple?
You know, who controls the majority shares of control in the IMF? 27% to 47% is the United States. So, I mean, what are you going to say? Who's going to say boo?
I mean, if you had an alternative to the IMF, that's how you'd say boo.
Yeah, China tries to do that with BRICS, but how's that going?
I mean, it kind of called that one too. Knew that was coming.
So I don't know. I just think it's interesting. Is this all Bitcoin thing just a part of the play to push
Yes.
out? Yeah, there it is. But I just thought it was interesting. So that's another thing I'll throw out there. What else is on your guys' mind?
Iron Man is trashed me in the comments.
Well, Iron Man, you can always come on if you'd
You can
like to
take
join
my
the
spot,
club.
Iron Man.
Tell us how you really feel.
But yeah, what do you guys think about the Anthropic threat that the Pentagon gave?
Mm. Yeah, I would think Tom would have some interesting input on that.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I'm not really convinced of anything not being a complete work with that. It's just an excuse to be able to go, well, the only way we could keep investment is if we removed all the guardrails, because they have to do something or they won't exist. Give me a fucking break.
It's just
I feel like that's what I was saying too.
I just thought it was interesting because you already know every other AI company has capitulated. That's why there's no conversation. So there's one of two things I'm thinking. Is that, Anthropic does want to make an IPO. Is this just another way to validate, let's just say illusionarily validate their superiority? And is the government saying, I don't know, let's just even make a bigger conspiracy. Is Trump's children highly invested in Anthropic? And to create a pump for the IPO, they need to add a layer of validity. And how to do that is say, the Pentagon, look how desperate they are because Anthropic has such superior software. And so much to the point that the government is trying to extort Anthropic. And so then, of course, this puts out the illusion Anthropic must have some superior technology, which would boost up its investment desire. Then they drop the IPO. Everybody's going to want to invest into it. It's going to go through the moon. And then the early investors can dump their shares. I would say that's a smart move for the billionaires if that was an agenda. And who else could promote validity more than the government? The other side of the coin is Anthropic really does have something that the government is very fearful of or desperately wants their hands on, possibly AGI, who knows what. And so the CEO of Anthropic knows its leverage and it's trying to play its hands with the government. I mean, there's other possibilities, but those are two frames of thought that I was having. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's pretty much where I was going at. It's just just trying to get some leverage to try to make more money.
But I wouldn't say it's because the CEO wants it. It would have to be bigger because the government's involved.
I think it's a fundraiser. It's a fundraiser. They're just going, oh, the Pentagon needs it. They want it so bad. Look at who's what's his name involved with? What's his name? The guy that founded Anthropic.
I forgot the CEO's name.
Well, I mean, they're all in the same PayPal mafia. It's a fundraiser.
Talking about Peter Thiel?
They're well, no, he's not the one that owns it. It's
not
another
Larry,
guy.
is it?
That's
Mm-mm.
no. It's hold on. I think it starts with an M.
It says
No,
the
it's
founders is
Dario
Dario Amade and
That's not who I
Daniela.
was thinking of.
Yeah. That guy actually looks like that guy who went to jail for that crypto scam. Sam.
Oh yeah.
Whatever. his name is.
Bankman-Fried.
Yeah, Bankman-Fried. Yeah. But I don't know. It's just interesting because if the government is playing along, the government would need incentives. If it's a pure fundraiser, then there has to be something more deeper than just we want to help Anthropic make a lot of money. So is this because behind the scenes, the Trump family and everybody else within that function, the PayPal mafia, everybody's highly invested into Anthropic, and this is a way to do a pump and dump on Anthropic when they do an IPO. That's a possibility. I'm still in limbo land with that. I don't know. Does Anthropic really have something far superior? Do they have technology that is very threatening in the wrong hands? And is the government, and they've been trying to have back talks, like the government could have been telling Anthropic and their CEO and their executive board, name your number. We don't care what that number is. We will pay it to you. Anthropic is saying, no, we know the leverage we have here, and we're not going to do that. X the whole thing of we don't want our technology to be mass surveillance. Forget that. Just the idea that they know they have a lot of leverage because they have a very exclusive development technology. And so now they're just playing the leverage game. And the threat is we could use that against the government, and the government knows that. And now the government's saying, well, if you play this game too hard, we're going to mark you as a distribution risk, which is basically you're black marked. Any company using you, they're going to be also black marked, so no company's going to use you. Basically, you're not going to be able to be utilized in America. But that's going to backfire because then they'll just go to China or somewhere else.
I was going to say, just leave the United States, right?
Yeah, but then you're going to find him and his CEO magically in the Epstein files that hasn't been released, or with 8 terabyte laptops. And so, this is that weird game of which one is it? And I don't know. I really don't know. It just depends on how much legitimate advanced technology Anthropic has. If it's very advanced, they might literally playing the leverage game.
All the money.
And China's probably in the back room over there talking to Anthropic as well. I know if I was China, I'd be doing that.
China. Go Birds.
Another thing I noticed that just came on the scene is that mortgage rates are below 6% for the first time in many years.
Woo.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of correlation with that and why the 10-year bond is interesting with its yields. I've talked about this. I think that was episode 88. But, I think it's interesting because a lot of these things get under the zone of purview because they hyperbolicize things. So, now we're talking about Hillary, Epstein, talking about Anthropic, we're talking about AI. But behind the scenes, who's manipulating the 10-year bond? Who's manipulating whatever, for whatever reasons? And now, what did Trump say in this State of Union speech? He's going to try to give, was it the same health care or same kind of service at all, or pension or something that all federal employees have, that he wants to give it to also civilians. And he's talking about trying to also pass a bill to prevent equity firms from purchasing all small residential homes. And he knows he's got to do something with the upcoming midterm elections. And it doesn't have to be permanent. It just has to be long enough that people are convinced that he's doing something good for us. Things are changing. But you don't want it to be too loud right now because you want things to start moving in that direction. And you want also that there be this illusion that he has unification amongst the Democrats too. Which Democrat is not going to stand up and say, yeah, we want equity firms not to be able to buy small residential homes? Well, that'd be against their whole regime of trying to be equitable amongst people. So, of course, they have to support that. When Trump was talking about wanting to eradicate all congressmen and senators, whoever, from being able to invest in the stock market, who wouldn't disagree with that either? So there's always these posits of trying to bring these illusions that everybody is agreeing, while on the backside, I'm just interested on who's really manipulating the 10-year.
Why?
Because of this larger plot. It's like what's going on with Japan, and I think there's also a larger scheme between what's going on in Japan, housing in America and the upcoming Fed chair and mortgage rates and midterms. That's probably a lot of interconnection or interplay, but I do think there's something going on.
I think that you're going to find that after these 4 years, the midterms don't matter. They're going to seem to matter, but I think they're really going to try to roll out an AI government. I don't think any of it's going to matter.
Do you think that's going to be public, or is that going to be behind the scenes, like secretly?
I think it's going to be demanded by the public, just like 9/11.
Well, if they were going to do something like the AI government, well, then you could make the argument that because I'm always, in my mind's always acclimation before propagation. So how do you acclimate the society as a larger whole to the idea that AI can be suffice in some kind of global governance system? You have to show
AI never molested my kid.
Sure. Yeah, of course. But of course, AI could create AI-generated videos and photos of your kids. Of course, we know they could do
better
that.
than being trafficked. Literally, it's better.
They could set up a database so people can traffic it. But what I'm saying is more acclimation. So if you have a bunch of, I guess one way, a metric to layer this is, if this kind of open claw kind of system or infrastructure becomes more prevalent and you see other startups trying to do this, in my mind, that's a government psyop or infrastructure buildup. They need to get you acclimated to the idea that AI can do a self-sufficient human.
They had a plan about this 10 years ago. This is not new. They already talked about. I know exactly how they're going to do it. Or at least I think I know exactly how they're going to do it. And it's going to be based on taxes. They're just going to go, well, you don't have to pay taxes anymore because your AI is paying taxes. We're going to pay your income tax is actually going to be the agent's income tax. And you can, whatever you leave on the table is for you, but you didn't do anything.
Yeah, absolutely. The idea that your agents are actually going to be your workers and you're going to just be a LLC controlling agents, and agents are going to be your monetary production form. I agree, and you're going to be using token-based currencies instead of
exactly.
Yeah, I get that, but that's not what I'm saying. It's psyops is all about getting you to believe, and then the structural behavior or engineering is now I can get you to do it. But first, we have to get you.
It's not a psyop the way you're thinking.
How would that be?
Let me collapse the dollar and give you an off-ramp, and it's going to be your tokens.
Yeah, but you have to go through the psyop is needed in my mind because you have to get people convinced that it's just like anything. If I want to take away your freedom, I have to justify why I'm taking your freedom away. So let me give you some boogeymen. Let me give you some terrorists. Let me give you some illegal immigrants. Let me give you something so I can tell you, see, I need to take away some of your rights. We have to give you something.
You're going to the wrong direction. That's the one side of the psyop. The other side of the psyop can also be the savior complex.
Well, you have to have a demon complex. First. You have to have an opposition. Like every protagonist
a demon is being broken, not having a future. That's your demon.
Yeah, but every person still in America is too individualistic. Like we want to fight for our freedoms.
I don't know. If you think that that's your freedom, a lot of the people that are dumb enough to say what you're saying are also going to be diehard, religiously into whatever political party. And then if both of the political parties are finding middle ground on this one answer that'll save humanity, we all agree, stay inside. Don't breathe the air. Think about it like that. It's the same bullshit, just different.
The hard part is, when they start to implement things like reindustrialization, which is a hands-on operative.
Mm-hmm.
And so it can't just be agentic. Because if you want to persuade people...
It's a hybrid. It's a hybrid.
Well, it may be, but at some point you're going to... It can't be in its end form, because at some point if they're going to let the government be fully agentic, then at some point they're going to want you to believe your production is obsolete just like the government, and you just need to depend on agentic services.
No, it's going to be the choice thing. It's going to be like, look, we're not going to tax you anymore as a human. We're only going to tax your agents. So you can still go work a job and you get to take all the money home as long as your agents are being taxed. And there you go. There's your half in the middle attempt at, solving the problem. And then they create tokens as your only off ramp. And now they have you working back in a factory because why wouldn't I? I'm taking home all the money.
And to me, that's too reductionist. It's just like I can't assume everybody will say, I'll give up all my freedom if I don't have to pay taxes.
They'll give up their freedom over boogeymen.
Well, I get that because the boogeyman could really hurt you. At least that's the psyop. The psyop is that they could really come in and take your children.
I think that they're two of the same thing. It's just you're in a different time, so the demands are going to lean on being different, and it's a way out of the tax burden while having women also being able to stay home from work, while also being able to, all these other benefits where you're going to be like, remember the good old times that never existed? Well, I guess they did, but like it'll be like it never in your lifetime. Don't you want what Grandpa had?
Yeah, but see, the other layer is now going to be accessibility, and it's going to be the same thing. It's just going to be how it functions. It's like accessibility and talent is still going to be the contingent point. So let's say everything is based upon agentic services. They're the things that make money for you. Well, the issue now is the competitiveness of agentic services. You don't get rid of the incentive function. Like capitalism still works because you are incentivized to make better agents. But everybody isn't able to make better agents. So now there's going to be a marketplace where you can buy these agents. But how are you going to get the currency? It's almost like without credit, you can't get credit. So if you don't know how to deal with agents, so you can buy better agents on the marketplace, you can't get the money to begin with or the tokens to buy more efficient agents. And now you're still left in limbo land of saying, I'm going to go work on the land.
That's why taxes are the perfect mechanism, because then if you don't have the skills that you're talking about, then you would still pay those taxes. It's a way to offset them.
All right, but don't you think that would create this real hard division? Because the people there's going to be more of those people, especially young people who are more prolific with coding and dealing with agentic services.
What are you talking about? What?
Well, the younger generations are more prolific when it comes to coding and AI and building.
How many people do you know have a cell phone?
Everyone?
Probably everybody.
How many people had them 20 years ago?
20 years ago. I don't think the cell phone was invented. Well, maybe just invented. 2006, 2008.
Okay, do Grandma and Grandpa have one? Do Grandma and Grandpa have one now? Same idea.
They might have a flip phone, yeah.
Now they do.
Yeah.
They figured it out.
But that doesn't mean that they'll be able to create these agentic servants.
If you just talk to the machine and the machine builds something out that you want, it's a creativity landscape. That's not
possible, because what you're going to do is you're going to create a rarity anomaly. Like if I have a store and I have 1,000 wallets, the rarity is that I have 1,000 wallets that nobody else has. But now if every store has 1,000 wallets, the same exact wallet I have, the rarity anomaly becomes nothing. And now the value of what I'm selling becomes nothing. It's the rarity that makes the value more prolific. So if anybody can just talk into an agentic service and create something, that means everybody's going to be creating this same base level servant that nobody wants, because there's billions of them. Who can create the most unique or rare?
You're taking a creativity out of the mix now, because you're not targeting.
You're talking about grandma and grandpa.
Well, then they probably have assets anyway, so they probably wouldn't have the same issues that a younger person would have that is trying to make it.
Yeah, unless it has to be converted into tokens, and now there's like a reverse split or a dilution in currency transferring. So they say, oh, yeah, because we want to try to equal the playing field, we're going to make a dollar conversion to tokens at a certain reduced rate so we can allow the younger generations an equal playing form.
Okay.
Well, if that's the case, then yeah, you're still left with these older people having a diluted dollar.
Probably, but they still have assets.
Yeah, but it's going
They
to be
still
very
have
minimal.
What?
It's going to be very minimal comparative to what they did have, and it's going to cause panic and fear.
I don't know. I don't necessarily. I think anything that's happened so far has caused enough panic and fear. I think a lot of things that are trying to, whack people currently that have been in place for the last 5 years, let's say, are a way to eliminate the people that would be confused, the people that would be gullible. That's just my personal thoughts. And I think a lot of that gap will be able to be filled more than you think.
Yeah, maybe so. I want to believe that these things are going to be useful for the larger whole of society. I just think there's too many. That's why I think psyops are so efficient for the government, is they need to get you acclimated to believe something so then you willingly will participate in it. And
if everybody's looking for psyops like they are right now, they're not going to be as effective.
Well,
They're making you run towards the machine more and more. The more that they act, the more they're making you run towards the arms of the machine, which is the psyop.
Right. But they have to get you convinced to give up all your liberties. Like the main thing is,
no, they just have to be competent enough to give you benefits to you until you go, oh, I should just adopt this, and I should have done it a long time ago, like people say about Bitcoin.
Yeah, until it becomes a rug pull.
Maybe it doesn't become a rug pull. If you just invested in Bitcoin, you didn't get rug pulled.
Well,
I don't know where the incentive of being rug pulled would lie. I just don't. I'm trying to bridge that gap.
Well, I could speculate on quite a few things with that, but I think there's a lot of food to thought here.
No, go ahead, do it. Speculate.
Well, I mean, one incentive would be because they don't really have the technology that's being eluded.
That's rare coming from you.
Well, I'm saying if you want to throw out a speculation.
Okay, fair.
And so if that's really the case, then the bigger psyop is run to daddy robot arms. But that's because we need you to believe in our abilities and accesses. This is a larger scheme to control, but internally we know that we don't have the power that we're projecting. But we can put out the false illusion. It's almost like the same thing going on right now with all the AI layoffs.
I think you also need to think about, well, that's because of how quickly things happen.
Right.
But let's say that the robot thing is real, and to an extent, and there's a method in which you could create financial instruments around the robot. Like, for instance, maybe the boomer doesn't know how to program the thing. Maybe the Gen X doesn't know how to program the thing. I'm including everybody. But like they have enough money to be able to like sponsor a robot, and then they get like a timeshare, and they're getting a piece back of the productivity of the robot. Well, that takes away the capital expenditure that comes directly from the government and gives people an investment opportunity to then, buy into like an economy or a tranche of robots that are being financed for a company, and they're getting a piece of the productivity as well. Like, you don't know. It's very plausible that they could create all kinds of financial instruments.
That's true, but you have to get people to believe that these are legitimate.
And that's even easier, because then people just start making money on it, and then people go, oh shit, I better get in on that. That's the
until
new thing.
They realize it's some guy in India controlling their robot.
If they make money, who cares?
Well, they will care if it goes back to like your first quandary, is that AI is supposed to eradicate the notion of pedophilia and all this Epstein stuff. But if it's some guy in India doing it, he may very well just use this robot to do whatever he wants. And it's
sure,
random
I'm talking
too.
About like on a factory. I'm talking about like on a factory floor. I'm talking about like something your kids could inherit. like an investment your kids could inherit, and it's also a way for them to offset their taxable income and stuff like that. Like there are methods here where it could be like buying, I don't know, if you could timeshare a piece of mining equipment.
Yeah, I was going to say it sounds like a timeshare. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if somebody could, if they could make it plausible where people would believe that these are legitimate autonomous robots, then yeah, you could probably have some generational wealth because it'd be almost like owning a company, and then you can pass down this company of these agentic services and robots. But
Well,
that's
they want
what.
to tokenize Earth. There's a
Mhm.
reason why.
Oh, sure, absolutely. Tokenized economy is a whole nother layer.
Well, that would play into it, would it not?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It makes it definitely at minimum it allows the illusion of an even playing field. I don't have to own a house. I can own this little token of this house and still reap the benefits of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Same idea.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Though the people have to believe it, like smart contracts. When you talk about tokenized economy, people have to believe that these smart contracts are legitimate. It's just not some arbitrary.
Smart contracts are way different than an actual physical buying a physical thing.
Yeah,
So
that's
like
true.
I think by virtue of someone making money and being able to buy into the physical world, you'll be able to sell it.
Yeah, but again, it's all based upon automatic triggers. It's like, I guess it depends on how far we want to go into the non-fungibles. But
What's Ted gonna say?
yeah,
It's too radical of an idea. People aren't gonna they're not gonna go for it. I mean, I'm just speaking of
Mm-hmm.
someone of my generation in my 60s, but I mean, I wouldn't want to, try this whole new system. I'm happy with having the dollars in my pocket, I'm
If the
happy with owning
dollar in
my
your
home.
pocket is failing, if the dollar in your pocket is failing, you will do something to save your wealth. And if then these opportunities get presented to you and it's as easy as using your phone, I guarantee you'll think differently. Just like COVID. I bet you everybody will lock themselves in their house. No, I don't think that'll ever happen. Guess what happened? Guess what happened? They
Yeah,
listened.
I know. I know. It's because people were afraid of what would happen if
No.
they no, I honestly, I think that people they weren't as afraid of the virus as they were afraid of what would happen if they didn't do it.
Uh-huh. Now think about that in the terms of your wealth.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're not given any alternative, I guess. I mean, unless what do you go off the grid? I mean, you see this coming down the pike. You go and what change everything over to gold or you know, uh, something lithium, so that you have something that's valuable that doesn't have necessarily a monetary price attached to it.
But if I tokenize everything, right, then you could still buy lithium. Maybe you could buy it not even out of the ground yet. Maybe you buy proven reserves and you get paid a certain percentage. Like I'm just saying the stock market, but like with more real world physical connection. I don't know how that would work in practice, but I guarantee you someone's figuring that out.
Well, I'm thinking about just like poorer people, like the massive people that are living, paycheck to paycheck. I mean,
Yeah, I noticed it
do
a
you,
while
do you
back.
think do you think that's yeah, do you think that's going to work for them too? I mean, I guess they wouldn't care, right? As long as they're able
Yeah,
to go
because
get
they would be
food.
working. The other side of this that we were talking about in the beginning is they could still work and have their AI agent do things that would offset their tax revenue.
Hmm.
It does make sense if you start like really trying to piece it together. You could totally make it work. The last system was kind of fake too. It's just what you're used to. I wonder what they're
Well,
talking about.
I mean, oh yeah, they're plotting. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's an interesting point. I mean, you
we're
had
creating a psyop.
yeah, there you go.
Am I screwing something up?
No.
Uh, you bring up a good point, Tom. I mean, at one point the dollar was backed by gold, right? So we had a system that at least your dollar was worth something, right? It was backed by its value in
Mm-hmm.
gold. then that all went out the window. So now it's worth what the paper it's printed on. If it says $1 on it, it's you can trade it for, you know, a candy bar for $1. Although I don't know any place you can get a candy bar for just $1. But anyway,
Hmm.
no, you bring up a good point. It's just a system that we're used to and we've agreed to it. If there's a system out there that you can convince people, and here's the trick. So it's a good PR thing. If it's got good marketing and PR, and you can
Oh
convince
yeah,
people this is a really good thing, it's going to work out better for you than what you have now. Yeah, I guess I guess then it would work. But it's just like everything else. You got to make people want to be a part of it. So, and
and the people that
fear
own
doesn't work.
no, fear is away in America. What the hell was that?
It's the Matrix.
Uh
A
huh.
couple of things that you guys are talking about. This is in lieu with. One of the things is apparently Elon Musk is a time traveler, I guess.
Oh wow. You know,
Is that Elon?
what if that's the real Elon and the one we see?
It's like a front.
Yeah.
This guy looks really insecure.
Why? Because he's
though.
got a British face.
I always
It's
thought
not
Elon
British,
had
it's
like
South
a
African, man.
Chinese.
Same
The
thing.
Chinese guys who always fake them.
Yeah, I know. Well, not just that. He actually has those eyes. This guy's got those eyes too. He's got that. He looks like half American, half Chinese.
It does look kind of
You
like
guys,
Elon.
I don't
though.
think you guys don't watch a lot of TV, but you didn't happen to see the Fallout series that was on TV, did you?
Mm-mm.
No.
Based on the game. All right, then it won't mean anything. I'll skip it. They did a double thing in that show, which was interesting. So yeah,
Mm.
yes, we don't know if the real whoever is. I was looking at the pictures of Trump doing the State of the country, State of the Union.
Union. Yeah.
It didn't look like him. Like it looked like something was off. So I don't know if that
Really?
was the real Trump or the other stand-in.
Somebody said that the fact that Joe Biden was wearing a mask was actually in the Epstein files too. I guess somewhere in there it talks about how there was some guy who stood in for Biden a few times and actually wore a Biden mask. So they just come out and said it. Again, I don't know. There's how
Common
many
knowledge.
thousands of pages or hundreds of pages in the Epstein files.
Hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
I'm beginning to think this thing is again just a manufactured distraction, just to keep us all our heads spinning. You know,
So you
It's
don't
always to
think
steer
you don't
you.
think there was real children and real islands and real
I
selling
don't
and
know
distribution?
how far it's going. I mean,
Mm.
I don't know.
It's real.
Honestly, I don't
It's
know.
a. Let me
I think the
let me
actual,
trust. Yeah, it's real. It's definitely
Yeah.
real.
but how big is it is the question.
It's so insane. If you did hear the truth, your brain would fall out of your ears and into your lap.
Mm.
I
That
won't
happens to me
experience
on a regular
that.
basis. So
Can you tell us the truth?
Yeah, I'll take what he's having. I'll take that.
I told you guys like a year ago about the whole breeding program thing, and they make their own politicians out of a box. All that stuff. Like I think that's been corroborated to some extent through the files, but then also people still don't realize like Epstein was a composite. Like where did he come from? Oh, he's just from a modest family. His dad was a gardener, and his mom. It sounds like DIY when they're like a dog walker and like a feather duster want to buy a home for combined $5 million. It's like the same idea of ridiculousness as like Epstein's parents were like not connected to anything, and
I
they're
had-
definitely connected.
I had heard something about the fact that he worked at a low level job at some company, and he like got like a meteoric rise.
Mhm.
So he's like a patsy.
He
You
got
know,
a
he
meteoric
was real
rise
good.
to the Rothschildren. He got that's some meteoric rise.
Well, what I
Yeah.
heard was he's really good at organizing things. Like he's got this brain for really good for organization, and
Uh-huh.
that they picked him and put him into this position where he was going to organize this system.
Pedophile ring.
Yeah,
No, I always-
basically, yeah.
I always wonder if one day you guys are going to see that, I'm going to make the news that I actually leveled up in my job. You're going to see colleague on the front page newspapers. Colleague is now running
Is
this
that
operation
one
and that
name?
operation. And I'm going to be rising up.
Sure.
Yeah, and then you're going to hear all kinds of things, like who I married and my kids. You're going to hear about my life. Oh, I just got in a car wreck and all that stuff, and all these things are going to be. you guys are gonna hear all this stuff, and I survived. And
Oh, good.
now I'm given access to a bigger portion of this business and this company. Now I'm making deals, and you guys hear more and more. And I'm gaining popularity. All the while, I don't even know about it. I'm actually just some janitor at McDonald's. I don't even know what's going on. But you guys are getting this whole narrative about me, and they're even having AI videos, AI manufactured videos of me talking and having interviews and everything. And one day I see it on TV, and I'm like, "Whoa, that's me."
Comes.
What'd they do? Yeah, there you go. Wow,
You look
Merry
good.
Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Well, this is one of your
Damn.
products that's going to change the world.
I wish. Yeah, and then,
What the
I'm
hell's
just going
the
to see
product
interviews of myself on TV with people, and I'm like, that's not me. And I'm going to tell my boss, that's not me. And they're going to be like, okay, sure. Nobody's going to listen to me. Eventually, I'll just die off, but nobody will know who I ever was. They're just going to know this image of me that's been... And the guy on TV is still alive. The colleague is still alive. So nobody even knew who I was. Nobody knew that I died. Nobody knew that I was born. They just completely stole my entire identity and made something out of me. Just so that way they can ground it in reality. So if anybody looks, it's like, yep, that's his birth certificate. It says colleague, and yep, that's his DNA. And
You
they
know what
can...
they'll say?
What's that?
They'll see this video and they'll go, "Colleague's not beating the allegations."
I
Yeah.
think you just recited the whole plot to the Jeffrey Epstein story.
Well,
The movie
that's
is
what I'm...
coming out next week.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I always wonder if Jeffrey Epstein was some janitor at Walmart, and he didn't even know that he was getting famous until it was too late. But then by that time, he was trying to tell people that's not me. Nobody cared. Eventually, he died off probably many years ago, and nobody even knew about it because nobody knew who the real guy was at all. But we just fed this facade of this guy who owned an island and everything else. Makes me wonder
Did
all
you
the
ever
time.
hear him talk?
Hmm?
You ever hear him talk?
Jeffrey?
I don't think I ever have.
Yeah, I've listened to some of his interview stuff.
Oh.
He actually
Van
quotes
put up
like
that
Aristotle and other Stoic philosophers. He actually is well read in history. I was like, wow. And he's a very cynical guy too. Like you can tell he likes stupid humor. He makes jokes and laughs at himself. And the guy
He's
is
just like
interviewing
us.
him. What's that?
He's just like all of us.
Yeah, pretty much. He'd
He's
be
just a
great on the show.
regular guy. He's just running a pedophile ring,
He's just a
Everybody's got a
regular
job, right?
Jeffrey.
Yeah. Well, the guy in the interview actually asks him, he's like, "And you're a convicted offender, right?" And then Epstein's like, "Yep." And he was like, "So
But you're brilliant. But you're
yeah," and he was like,
amazing.
"Yeah, I know." That's what the guy was trying to say. He was like, "How do you not know how all these numbers work? You're telling me you're ignorant of how the numbers work, all the
Dude,
embezzlement, all the money that you're
interviewing him-
moving around." Yeah, and Epstein
the
actually
guy-
says, "I don't know how any of this works. I don't know what you're talking about." And the guy's like, "Yeah, you do. You're a lot more brilliant than you make out." And the guy's like, "I don't know what you're talking." And then he starts making jokes. The interviewer even asks him, like, "Have you ever met Satan, or are you Satan, or something like that?" Or, because people
you
are saying
Satan?
that
I
you're
heard
a
you said.
Satan himself. Are you Satan? Are you the devil? And he was like, and he just made a joke about it. He was like,
No, he said that I'm a mirror. He said he's a mirror. I
Yeah,
don't even
something
know how
like
that's
that.
a response.
Well, he also said he's scared. He was like, the devil scares me. But,
He should.
yeah.
Too little, too late.
Yeah, assuming he's
The
actually
devil.
real.
They go his Brooklyn accent. And he's like, he sounded like Kyle's cousin from South Park. He
Who,
sounded
Epstein?
Like, yeah, they said he had a Brooklyn accent. I'm like, what, Brooklyn? Where there's a Brooklyn in Israel? Holy shit! This
I
guy
know about
was
this guy in
insane.
Brooklyn who likes to freestyle.
Yeah, there's a Palestine in Ohio, so who knows?
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
It's true. It could
And
be
there's a lot of
Bronx.
Israeli people in Israel. I mean, in New York too. They have probably the largest number of Ashkenazi
Landlords.
Jewish people.
Yeah.
There's something else though I wanted to bring to you guys' attention too. You want to be aware of this lady and her husband, I guess, walk out of Walmart, and as she's getting ready to scan her Walmart thing, she scans her Walmart code so she can get points and coupons and stuff. What she doesn't realize is the lady at the door asked to scan that code. So that lady stole her coupons, I guess.
Nice.
So I was like, man, that's genius. Let's see if I can play this.
People are stealing coupons like they're pickpockets.
So we just left Walmart, and they checked the receipts at the door, and I was behind because I'm penguin walking, and the lady took a picture on her phone, of our receipt, and he thought nothing of it. I use Fetch rewards, so I always scan the receipts, and I went to scan it, and it says that it's already been submitted by myself or someone else, and my glasses are fogged up, and I was so confused, and I look at him, and I'm like, we just got this receipt. That lady, she stole my Fetch reward.
At least she's a good sport about it.
Oh, hold on. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Somebody go.
I was going to say, at least she's a good sport about it. I mean, you can't hate the game. You got to hate the player.
Yeah, anybody could literally just get a blue vest, go into the doors of Walmart, and scan people's receipts. And you're just going to get all their Fetch rewards.
Yeah.
Or just go into the dumpster after, like the trash cans, go dig through those, scan all the receipts for Fetch rewards.
Are you going to try that?
I mean,
Nope.
If you're that desperate, I don't know.
I mean, it's free,
Things must
right?
be pretty bad if you're that desperate for things. I almost like, here, take it. I don't know.
Yeah. If people are sniping coupons, that's so good. That's so insane.
And I'm not saying there aren't people out there that are living like that. I mean, that they're trying to get whatever pennies they can. I mean,
I respect the hustle.
I'm sorry,
I would
don't have
love
pennies anymore. Sorry.
Yeah, true. Quarters, nickels, dimes.
Yeah.
But I think this is a
would
testament
respect that.
to
If
what our
someone robbed
economy
me
is
of
at
my
right now.
coupons.
What's that?
I said if someone robbed me for coupons, I would think that's very funny. I wouldn't be mad at all. If someone put a gun in my face and said, "Give me those coupon books that you just got out of the mail," I'd be like, "Wait, do you want my wallet?" And they're like, "No, it's digital. I just want your damn coupons. Hand them over before I blow your head off."
What if you just paid, $40 for that coupon book?
Who pays $40 for a coupon book?
You get those like little Girl Scout people going around trying to sell you coupon books because they're trying to do some fundraiser for their school.
I thought that didn't exist anymore.
Oh, look, I ain't that old.
No, I just remember that when I was younger. Like, I don't remember that anymore.
Magazine subscriptions, man.
Yeah, I guess I guess what I'm thinking about. I haven't seen one in a while, but yeah, I remember that when I was young.
Yeah, maybe they moved to internet, just online stuff because it saves them costs.
I know what I did when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like I've always been kind of innovative. So me and my buddies, everybody was doing fundraisers and selling candy. So I was like, forget all that. We know everybody's thinking that. So we're just going to go buy candy. We're going to print out over at the local FedEx place or wherever the scanning place was, all these little flyers. And we're going to just go do our own fundraiser. And we're just going to keep all the money. And everybody's going to think it's the same thing because that's what everybody's doing. And then we added to the next level is we're going to add window washing because it's a simple thing. It's like we didn't got to really wash these windows. We just got to spray it with their hose, and it's their water. So we're just going to go around saying, hey, it's for the school fundraiser. We're going to wash your windows, 50 cents a window. And we're just going around spraying everybody's window. And it's why not?
That's an
It's for a
American right
fundraiser.
there.
It's for. It's for a
That's an
fundraiser.
American right
It's for school. It's for a cause. What was it called? The Scholastics. It's a book fund or something. I can't remember exactly what we're saying, but I would say, why not? I mean, if you're a young kid out there,
Oh yeah.
the
Wait a
hustle's still
second,
available.
Did you turn the money over to the school fund, or did you
No, I
keep it?
created the whole
Oh
thing.
Jesus Christ! Shut up, Beaver. Leave it to fucking Beaver over here.
I'm just saying,
No,
it's
he
like
went and he bought sex, drugs, and rock and roll. He rode a bike and crashed it.
Whoa.
Who gives a shit? Good for him.
no,
Is that true? Were you smoking sex drugs?
yeah.
Wow.
And rock and roll.
Were you doing alcohol?
I was actually doing rock
Wow.
and roll.
Wow.
But I was just saying, I just reminded
Was
me
it that hard rock?
it's heavy metal.
Oh,
I needed some extra copper in my life, but
yeah. Well,
the only reason why I even brought it up is that I remember at the same time, of course, there's those like Girl Scout girls going around legitimately selling those like $40 coupon books. So maybe it is. Maybe I'm just thinking
Those suckers.
The
that
only thing I've seen Girl Scouts sell is cookies.
yeah,
yeah, maybe those were psyop
That's
agents.
an empire. That is a total empire. Let me tell
I
you.
haven't seen any of those either. I guess now that Tom's saying it, the truth is I really haven't seen any of it. I haven't seen the Girl Scout cookies. I haven't seen these coupons.
It's because
maybe
you
I'm
guys
just-
live out in the desert.
Maybe I'm just living in some weird nostalgia land.
Well, Arizona does have some things.
Yeah, they say they have the best snow.
Mm-hmm.
If you like to ski on slope, Maine,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever they say.
So much cocaine you can ski down the slope, man.
Yeah.
I think we need to take a moment just to announce that Harry Balzania.
Hey, Balzania. He is
There he
back.
Hell yeah.
Oh, there he is. Yep.
I guess so. I guess maybe you're right. If nobody's selling these coupons, then yeah, I don't know why everybody's tripping about coupons. But then
That's
again,
so
the
funny.
gig economy is probably what led to a lot of this. A lot of people are looking for alternate means to bring in income. And once you start depending on that, it's almost like this weird dependency trigger too. You start doing the gig economy stuff, like I'm going to do DoorDash. And it's always, a side hustle in the beginning. And then eventually you start making, let's say you think it's decent money, right? Then you start thinking, well, if I do this full time, I can create my own hours, the American entrepreneur dream. I can be my own boss. I can do whatever.
Entrepreneur.
And then you finally commit to it and you realize now DoorDash knows that you've committed because they see your hours. And you don't realize it's all algorithmic. They give more money to short-term drivers so that they can keep those. And the ones who are doing full-time hours, they give them lower paying payouts. And now you're sucked into it because you quit your job. And now you have to find, I got to do 2 gig economy jobs now. And now you're working, more than you would have worked at your regular job.
I was going to say, some people they have their 9 to 5, and then they do that as a side hustle.
Right.
Yeah, and then the money is so good that once they do it, they can feel it. Once they stop the side hustle, then they can feel it. They're like, wow, I don't have as much money as I used to, so then they do it again. And they'll just keep their 9 to 5, but they'll also do.
But see, that's the smart
the
thing
gig
to do
things.
because I think the algorithm knows, you're just a side hustle guy. So we're going to give you the better payouts because you're only doing like 8 hours, 10, 12 hours a week. So we're going to give you the good payout so you stay along. But once they see the hours bump up to now you're doing like 8, 10 hours a day, they know, you have decided to be a full-time. We got you. We can give you trash and there's nothing you can do about it because we know you quit your job. So we can give you trash and you're done. You're just going to take it because you ain't got no choice.
I don't know. I don't know if that's a good business model. I'm not saying that what you're saying can't be true because that's the human mind to take advantage of a situation. But I would think that if you have somebody who's committed to it full time, that means that person's going to be available. Number one, they're going to be available. Number two, they're going to be picking up folks. They're going to be more dependable, and then people are going to get to know them, so they'll use them more. So I would bet I would rather have that person working for me full time because I think they would be more profitable for me in the long run than to have somebody who's doing a side hustle who could just quit at any time.
Does it
know
have
what I'm
something to
saying?
do with income caps or something like that? Like once you get to a certain income, then it becomes like a negative, like liability. Like, or because you're an independent contractor, that doesn't matter.
No, of course it doesn't matter. Everything's on the onus of you. And at the
Well,
same
then
time,
why wouldn't it
Right.
make sense then what he's saying?
well, the only reason why I believe that you can see a pattern of this, like if you hear about the people that do full-time work, there's something that they have noticed, all of them kind of noticed, something transitioned from when they were doing it part-time, and then the kind of opportunities they have, and it's not instant. And again, if this is all algorithmic, there's probably a time layer to it. At some point, 2 months, 3 months, they start seeing a slow transition in the quality of opportunities, like the payouts. And eventually, maybe a year later, it's consistent. The ratio is probably 80-20 to like $4 pickups or $6 pickups or something else. And all those nice bonuses that they used to get, they're not very prolific anymore. And
That doesn't make sense.
but now you're stuck. Now you're just going to have to work for this cheap labor.
You know, it's funny when I worked
Makes a
for,
little sense. Go ahead.
when
Sorry.
when I worked for Uber a number of years ago, they did that. They actually, they would give you surge charges. They would add it on like $15-20 because it was a busy area. So you drive into that area and you can make an extra $15-20, sometimes even more. But yeah, then after about a year of doing that, they stopped all that. They were still charging people surge charges,
Right.
but they weren't giving the money to the drivers. So
Right.
the passengers were all upset at the drivers. They would actually get into my car and they would cuss me out. First thing out of their mouth, they'd start cussing me out like, why'd you make it so expensive? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm getting paid like $5 for this ride. And they don't believe me, of course. And they're like, well, why did I pay $40-50 for this ride? And they don't understand. And so Uber works off our ignorance.
Well, then another thing, like I'm sure a lot of people know who've tried, they give you that sign-on bonus. So it's like, have you ever done Uber before? If not, do 30 rides and you'll get $1,200. Who do you think is getting these surge bonuses? Who do you think are being incentivized so you can get sucked into the dependency of the system? Now, once you're in, of course, 3 months, 6 months, or they finally see you have now committed. You're no longer doing 8 to 12 hours. Now you're doing 40 hours a week. Well, they already know. The algorithm knows. You can't be doing 40 hours a week unless you're some insane person that doesn't sleep, that I'm working 40 hours plus 40 hours. I mean, you could, but that's not highly likely. So they'll see, oh, there's a shift. Time shift has changed. We're going to give this slow drip off, and we know there's nothing they can do about it. They've already quit their job. So now they're stuck. And now they're going to look for additional layers because Uber has a dualistic monetary function. Uber Eats and Uber delivery. So maybe we can get them to do Uber driving and they need extra money. They'll do Uber Eats too. And now they can get you a double time consumptive. And they're still going to give you little payouts. But you're like, hey, at least I'm making more now than I wasn't. And now they can even have double layer of labor for a very cheap price. But they need to get you sucked in first with that good pay.
Yeah, and it's definitely not paying you what they should be anyways, to put up with grown adults, basically babysit. All the Karens out there, like some individuals are cool, but like there is this one lady that I had before, a while back. I just picked her up from a wrestling tournament. She was a wrestling coach for high school girls, and she herself was like, she couldn't have been older than 25. She was young, and she was. So I'm just talking to her, just making small talk, and I start talking to her about the wrestling world, and she's telling me, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool, I'm like, it's weird. I've seen videos of people, boys and girls in high school wrestling each other, and I've always, it just feels weird watching it. Is that normal? Is that real? And she's like, actually, they don't do that anymore. They used to do that back in the day. Those are the good old days. I used to love it when they let us wrestle boys. And I was like, okay. And I was like, well,
What is a boy?
Yeah, I know, right? I wasn't trying to spark anything. I'm just trying to, be professional as always. So I'm like,
She put you in a full Nelson?
yeah, she did. She had me headlocked. And I didn't even know. So, but anyway, yeah, so she wasn't mad yet until I started saying something. I was like, yeah, well, the boy, you know, it's weird being a boy. It's weird. You can actually see in these videos that boys are being boys and girls are just being there, being innocent. You know, they're just trying to play a match, but the boys are fighting two battles, you know. And I was expecting her to laugh, but she didn't. So, but then when she got mad was when I was like, and then you have the thing like if you lose, if the boy loses, or if he wins, he loses. He can't win because if you lose, then you lose against a girl, and if you win, then you became the best domestic abuser. You know, you actually became the guy who beat up a girl. So, and this is what made her upset. She was like, well, I think that's great. And I was like, well, I guess I don't understand. She's like, I think it's great that boys and girls can fight. And I think it's great if a guy beats up a girl and everything, you know. And I was like,
I do too.
Okay. Yeah, and I was
Just
like,
like the good old days.
and I'm still trying to de-escalate the conversation though. So I was like, well, maybe I'm not.
I lean into
hearing you
people like that.
correctly.
When you're crazy, I match your crazy and exceed it. I think it's funnier.
But see, you know, and that's when you're gonna end up going to jail, and you're gonna be that guy because she's that kind of person. Like she looked like an innocent like little Catholic girl. Which was weird. She didn't look like that kind of person, like one of those activists.
That's her
feminists.
trap.
I know. I was like, yeah, this is a trap, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
No, she and then I was like, she was like specifically in a professional setting and everything, and I was like, so let me just to get this straight, you're saying that we should be advocating for men to beat up girls, and she's like, yes, and even in fighting too, I think men and women should be able to box, and I was like,
What about your
okay.
wife?
What?
What about your wife?
Mine or hers?
No. In general, like, what about men and their wives? Like, you think that men should be able to tune them up every once in a while, or
I think
just
I didn't
like the good old days?
I didn't ask
Like,
her
just-
that. I just
That would
I
be a
could
good
have.
question.
I was still trying to de-escalate the situation. Like I was like, I think we're talking past each other, and maybe we're some kind of miscommunication because I'm still trying to get her tip. I don't really care what her
Yeah,
stupid little
exactly.
agendas are. Like I've had a lot of liberals, and I'll stroke their ego.
No, you said it right. They're eagle.
Well, yeah, their eagle. I'll
Stroke
stroke
their
it all
ego.
day because I'm trying to get as much tips out of that. And I don't know if they can feel it or not, but I know I can feel it.
Right.
So, but
So
like
back
if
to
I
punching
knew, if
women
I
in
would
the
have known she
face.
was a liberal person, I would have stroked her ego too. Like I don't have any problem with that. But she didn't seem like that kind of person, which was what caught me off guard. So I was like, and again, I just had to keep asking. I was like, so because she was making it, she was like, you know, this patriarchy that's destroying America and everything. I was like, man, who taught you to talk like this? Like, what is this? So I asked her, I was like, so I think women, though, would agree that they don't want their husbands and they don't want
yes.
men beating up women. Like, I feel like the police would agree. I feel like the justice system would agree. And you're saying
A
that
nice
they're
tune
all
up every
wrong.
once in a while. Keep your car going for a long, long time.
Yeah, sure.
The CIA just tapped
I
in.
know.
Ah,
There it
yes.
is. There's another channel gone.
I was sitting here watching
Ah,
colleagues talk about this
yes.
story. You know, we played, I think 2 episodes ago, that CIA guy, John Carrico.
Yeah.
And he's all over the place right now. But I was sitting there watching Colleague, and I was like, you know, Colleague and his talents to tell stories kind of reminds me. It's like a little John Carrico-esque. It's like he can tell these stories. They're captivating. It's like, you know, you probably live a very interesting life like Mr. John Carrico.
Well, I'm a has-been, but yeah.
You're not getting into arguments in the Uber anymore with the crazy lady.
Well,
that
that
wants to be
was
punched in the face.
that was a while back when I had that conversation, and yeah, I've had many conversations like it too. So yeah, as many times I almost put the camera on live just to let it just. I'm sure I'd gain a lot of followers. I wouldn't be able to be monetized, I'm sure, because people's faces and even their children would be in the camera, but it'd just be fun
blur
entertainment
'em
for
out.
everybody. Like there's people that no matter what you do, they're just on that next level, and they're just gonna try to take you with them. And I was waiting too. I remember waking up the next morning waiting for my account to be deactivated because I've been. It's not, because I was waiting for her to say something stupid, and
then
it
you
would
get out
been
and
fun.
show her.
Huh? You know what? So what's
said-
even? Huh?
And then I said that you get out and you show her, you give her a knuckle sandwich to tune her up. Like you said, you were just waiting for her to.
See, I can't do that. When I was a kid, I thought like a kid. Like when I was younger, I would do stuff like I didn't care if you're a man or woman. If you fought me, you're gonna go down just the same. But nowadays, I have dependence. I can't. And that's not something I want to go down in the record for. Like, yeah, this guy smashed some woman's face in. It's like, it doesn't matter what she said or did. It doesn't matter. That's just not the publicity I want circling around my name. And what's funny
and the
is
woman's a guy. It's a dude in a dress. Just kicked your
it's like,
ass.
oh yeah, look guys, I checked to make sure it was definitely a man. Yeah, and maybe that's a story I would spin too. That way I could get myself off the hook, even if it's not a man. It's like, well, she was a man.
How would
in
I
spirit.
know? How the hell would I know?
Well, you have to check
These
under the
days,
hood
you
if
can
the
never
car breaks
know, and
down.
I had to defend myself.
Yeah, So she actually told me what got that whole conversation started was because she was telling me, yeah, and I went overseas. It's so dumb. The laws in America, we can't fight. Men and women can't fight and everything. We went overseas, and my friend was getting picked on by a 6-foot tall man in China. So this Chinese man, 6-foot tall Chinese man, was wanting to wrestle her, and she didn't want to, and I encouraged her to do it. So he picked her up, and he slammed her on the ground and knocked her half unconscious. And my friend was getting mad and everything after that, and I was trying to calm her down. And in my mind, I'm thinking, you're not really helping your cause here. Like this is what you want. Like this is what you want women to go through here on American soil. I don't know. It's just weird. It's a weird.
Women already have a hard time on American soil with this stupid stuff that goes on. You want to make it even easier. It's ridiculous. I'm sorry. I know the boomer in me's coming out, but it just makes me crazy.
It's
Respect,
insane
man.
to be a woman being an advocate for being an advocate for fucking fighting guys. It's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
Do we need to like open up some kind of like fighting rings on street corners so that if you want to take it out on somebody, you go into the ring. It's completely legal. It's
We'll have Dennis standing by to collect all of your money out of your account.
Yeah, I mean, I might be onto something here. Go in and settle it in the ring, and whoever wins, and that's it. That's the end of it.
Yeah, everybody would have to.
Colgate sponsors this fight.
Everybody would have to sign waivers because you already know whoever loses is going to come with lawsuits and everything
you
else.
can't sue.
I honestly thought they were going to do this. I don't know if you guys remember an episode called The Truman Show. But I was thinking that it's a high possibility that Trump could have utilized that idea that he was pushing out, that we're going to give opportunities to some illegal immigrants to win their citizenship. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, if I was a malicious person that really wanted to generate a Coliseum-esque kind of following, because everybody loves it, like you guys just get this ring going on, and everybody be rooting for their Hunger Game contestant, and they can win their citizenship. And it could be whatever, like turn in the most people or literally fighting, whatever. I thought that was a tenable possibility that it would have went down. I haven't seen anything as such yet, but when you guys are talking about this, just remind me. I remember that was a tenable thought. I thought they might try because they were making it sound like citizenship could be obtained by some kind of game theory.
SmackDown.
Yeah, I'm still trying to keep my citizenship because there's that, that one day I actually woke up and my account was deactivated, and I called them to figure out what happened, and they're like, yeah, it looks like your passenger the previous night said that you were the spawn of Hitler. So, and I was like,
yeah,
I was like,
there you go.
what? So
What's that have to do with anything?
Yeah, I know. I was like,
Yeah,
what do you have
really.
against Hitler? So, like, what?
I can still
can
drive.
Yeah, I know. I was like, who cares? First of all, and secondly, why'd you believe him?
The Spawn.
Yeah, it was the
Yeah, not
dumbest
Hitler,
thing.
The spawn of Hitler.
Yeah, at least I wasn't Hitler himself,
Jeez.
right?
What are you, Kim Jong Un? I can't have my generation's getting nailed because of what my dad did.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's stupid. Like that.
Hitler
If-
Rodriguez.
All someone would have to do is claim that I was an illegal immigrant or I wasn't born here or whatever. And yeah, now all of a sudden I'm gonna get a lot more than just my account deactivated, which could happen. But yeah, I mean, because all kinds of things. You're picking up drunk people all night long. They're just gonna say things, and it's weird that Uber would actually take their word for it. It's like, yeah, it says here that you're Shrek's brother. Is that true? It's like, yes, it is. You got me.
Well, you're off the
So you're
platform.
gonna let me drive
We
or
hate
what?
Shrek here.
I'd like to
Well,
drive
Shrek.
as Shrek's brother.
You would think that experience, like, you would gain some cred after, doing this for a number of, like, you have a clean record for a number of months, years, whatever. You get some cred, for that. But
Yeah, and I've
Hey,
yeah,
you
that's
gotta work
true.
the dead off instead.
I would fly loose too. Like, there's one lady I'd actually dump her out on the sidewalk because she was just completely wasted and she wasn't getting up. So I just took pictures of her and I was like, relax, I'm just taking some pictures.
Green Acres.
Yeah, I took some pictures of
Hypothetically.
her. I put her phone in her wallet and her keys all up on her door, and then took pictures of it all. And then I filmed myself, all of it. I was like, all right, this is her. I'm leaving her there. That way if they found any bruises or anything, they can know it wasn't me. And that's if she even lived, because that night was a pretty cold night. It was like 10 degrees. It was real cold. So she probably didn't wake up the next morning. But I was like, I got another $5 to make, so I just
Forget John Carrico. We got the stories of colleague.
Yeah, I really don't think she woke up the next
Interrogated,
morning.
Put him in the car with colleague.
Like,
you'll get
I'm
all-
I'm clipping this. I'm gonna make a short out of this. If John Carrico can go viral, this story's gonna go viral.
Hey, colleague, I'm curious. Like, when you run into a situation like that, and I hope that few and far between, wouldn't you get the police involved? Like, wouldn't you call the cops and say, "I got this situation"?
He's got to make
How much are
another
they paying?
$5.
Yeah, you
How
have
much are they
to.
paying per tip?
Yeah,
Is the
that's
cop
that's
paying
when,
per tip?
unfortunately, if you call, you have to stay there and wait for the ambulance and wait for the police and all this. You have to give a report.
He's got
All this
$5.
stuff. It's like, yeah, there's money on the line. I'm
Just
not
take her
paid-
phone and dial 911 and put it in her hand.
And leave it there. Yeah.
That's not a bad idea. I guess I could, but then my fingerprints. I guess I can figure that out. Anyway,
Yeah,
Never
get
yeah.
gloves.
Glove?
You got gloves. I know.
yeah, I'll
you
just
got
wipe it
gloves.
off with my shirt. It's easy to do, but
With that cold-blooded shit you did, I know you got gloves.
I think at the end of
on
the
now.
day, she was the one that was cold-blooded. I really don't think she woke up the next day. I really don't. And that's not
You don't-
that's
You don't
none of
drive
my
a white
business.
Bronco, do you?
No, but I have a white glove.
It's a different Shapiro.
Does it fit?
Yeah.
Then
No.
you quit.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
God,
were
that's funny.
definitely. These are the stories that dreams are made of.
This is
Yeah.
something that you have to do as a side gig. I pay you $5 for that.
Mhm.
Hey,
For
do you
what?
have ride-alongs?
Stories by the campfire with colleague.
Yeah.
Yeah, $20 if you let me drive along with you.
Get close to the campfire. Stay warm. It's gonna be 10 out tonight.
Yeah. What's funny is that woman's body was right next to her house. She was just like, how there's a sidewalk in front of everybody's houses where people throw the newspapers. She was just laying there, sprawled out. So it's like her neighbors probably came home like, oh, is that Cindy or whatever her name was? I don't even know.
Put that behind
Again.
a paywall, please. Put it behind a paywall. This is good.
She's like, she almost, she almost made it to her house. Like she's right there in front of her house, but Austin.
Yeah, that's
It's like,
what
man, just 20 more feet, she would have been in her home. But yeah, I mean,
They should
yeah.
hire you at the agency. You'd do good.
Yeah, you know, one time there was another time that so I picked up two people. One of them again was just like that lady, but the other one was still sober enough. So me and the other one literally had to pick up this other one like dead weight, and we picked.
Help.
Yeah, it was a lot better this time.
One time, this one was in rigor mortis.
No, they were still loose. They were still loose, and they were still warm. So I was holding the feet, and they were holding the shoulders. So we walked all the way up and walked them into the house, and then we saw the girl's dad, and the girl's dad was just sitting on the couch just watching TV, and he just watched us walk in carrying this girl, and we flopped her on the couch, and then the guy was like, "Thanks, man." I was like, "All right, thanks," and then I just walked out. And that was it.
What,
And
no
they
tip?
tipped good, so that was good.
I was going to say,
Oh.
you should have gotten a good tip. At least you made it in the door.
Yeah, the dad was didn't even say a
Holy
word. It was
shit.
like normal for him, I guess, for two strangers to drop his daughter off like this. So, yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
just
know.
what she does for. Was the dad the guy from the Griswolds? Was it the uncle Shitters Full? That guy?
I don't know.
Do you
He
remember
was
the daughter from the Vegas Vacation?
He was. I don't remember exactly what he looked like, but he had gray hair. He was just watching TV, just like nothing.
Guys are killing
So-
me.
Oh man, that's
Killing
so
Anyway.
bad.
That's the ideal situation, though.
You know what's
Yeah,
funny is
soon they're
that
going to be door dashing bodies to the mortuary.
that's what
That's
I
what
was thinking.
Wayfair was doing, I think, right?
I'm sitting here thinking, this whole conversation started because I was trying to bring a correlation back to the coupons, bringing back a gig economy. And, and I'm sitting here thinking,
economy.
Really great ideas for businesses, let me tell you.
yeah, I'm like, wow,
Gig economy.
this is what's happening. Wow.
Yeah, Uber could.
man.
Uber's
so
advertising teen accounts. They could advertise that we could also help you catch a body. We could help you deliver the body. We could help you do these things. Like if you
Colleagues-
need your daughter
Colleagues
delivered.
casket transferal. You just start your own business. It's just door dashing caskets. How many urns you got on you today?
Yeah, but it's a small window. You do have to deliver cheeseburgers sometimes too.
Well,
Like if you're
I
only
deliver guns
delivering
back where I'm
people's.
going.
What's that?
Sometimes I deliver guns back where I'm going. I drop the bodies off. I deliver the guns. I just do what I'm told. $5.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. In the Uber world, I treated it a lot like Jason Statham. I didn't ask questions.
Oh, yeah.
And
Jason
even if the
Statham.
package is moving, I don't care.
You
I'm
greet
gonna
the
deliver
man.
it.
When
Yeah.
the man gets in the car, you greet the man.
That's
They
it.
get questioned. He's like the Born Identity. He goes,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
happened?
That's you.
Is it?
Colleague's the driver. Yeah, he's Jason Statham, but you're the Born Identity. Yeah.
After hearing that shit with the leaving the lady in the cold, you think I'm the guy, right?
Because nobody even
That
knows
was
your identity.
Cold-blooded.
Nobody even
That's
knows your
good.
identity. You're Ghost.
Your colleague.
And
he's
he's,
host.
So
he is our
driver.
colleague. He's all of our colleagues.
He's colleague Rodriguez.
Hmm.
yeah,
His full name.
yeah.
I think they do have. and Again, this is just—it's so weird. I wish I could
Yes.
transition like you guys. Like you guys can continue these, and I
You
tried this.
can.
I can't,
You
man.
can do
It's
it.
so weird.
I know
You
a
can
guy.
float too.
I'm in forums all the time, and even amongst my kind
Government
of
will pay for
peers, I don't flow very well. Like people, I do it all the time with a colleague. I'll be talking about something, and then he'll say something, and my mind will just go back to the point. It's very hard for me. Like I'm watching you guys, and like you guys can just flow, laugh, interject, and my mind's like, oh yeah, that's a good point. We can tie that now over to this thing. Now
Yeah,
we
you're
can.
autistic.
I don't know what it is. It's so weird.
Your brain sounds like a spreadsheet.
I don't know.
We're all the same.
It is absolutely weird. I'm like watching you guys like that's cool. I now I was about to say, so now going back to the gig economy, that's what my brain was about to do. And I'm saying, like, you know.
Yeah, I have more stories.
Yeah, I know. That's great. And I
we
think
can go
that's-
back
No,
to
I
the gig
think that's
economy.
actually a good
Story time with
balance.
colleague.
Yeah, it's
balance.
just it's so weird, and that's why it's interesting because colleague can interrupt me no matter how deep I talk, and it doesn't affect me. Like I don't get offended. Like I see a lot of the peers that I might talk with, they'll get offended. They take their work very seriously, and rightly so. And then they'll be like, "Why are you saying this?" They're like, "That's not the point." I'm like, "Yeah, but that's okay." Like to me, it doesn't matter. So colleague will say something, and then I'll laugh. We'll all laugh, and I'll just go right back to what I was talking about, like nothing even happened, because my mind's still always in the background thinking about how to transition whatever colleague's talking about. So if he's talking about something like off the wall, I'm going to try to say, all right, that off the wall thing, that's a good point. Let's talk about that and
You know
get
what I
back
think?
to the gig economy.
You know what I think?
Hmm.
I think that's why your parents named you host.
It's a very good possibility, but I think this is all entertaining. I always
sense.
I kind of wish I could have that fluidity, but
Yeah.
yeah,
but
let's
then you
let's
wouldn't be
hear
a good
another
host.
great story from Colleen. I don't
Well,
think
there's
people.
this one time I hit someone with the car.
Yeah,
That's
see,
because
I
I got
honestly
paid an extra
think
$5.
Tom has some really good stories too.
Yeah, he's like the Great Gatsby.
Yeah,
He
but
probably
he-
did hit someone with a car.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to tell us.
Yeah,
It's
you
for
can't
$5.
tell us. Yeah.
No,
Hmm.
I'm not that interesting. I'm kind of lame.
Hmm.
That non-disclosure, what is it?
See, I can't do it like
NDA.
colleague. Like I got a lot of nice
NDA, yeah.
stories. I got a lot of stories too, but it'd be too like I'm like this happened, and that's what happened. All right, next.
I know I suck ass because I could provide references for it. So I could just ask Iron. I can ask Iron Man if I suck ass, and he'll corroborate. I suck ass.
There's probably a data sheet for that. Yeah.
If anyone's got one.
At least colleague can add a humor to his coldness. If I said something, it just feel like, oh yeah, that guy's just absolutely cold. And so
You just have a
It's all about
flashlight under your
delivery,
chin.
yeah, it is what it is.
Flashlight.
People can be comedians. You know?
Yeah, and that's very needed. I want to hear
You have
another
any
one of these
coldness
stories.
stories?
Huh?
You have any coldness stories?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
That time he shot this guy in the back, but
Yeah, but he was lipping off.
Whoa. When you were working for ICE?
Yeah, I used to make ice makers.
No, you didn't get the bonus then. I was looking for you to get the bonus.
Yeah, no. I used to used to play games.
For real?
Huh?
For real?
Oh yeah. I always play games. I'm still playing games.
Okay, well, do tell.
Yeah, I used to play a game on this show, and it was called I can't talk. I don't feel at brevity to explain those games, but because
Oh,
my
come
mind will probably try to make an analogy out of it, and then try to get some moral
Go ahead.
point out of it, and then I'm going to try to give some words of wisdom, try to be encouraging, and at the end give some insight. And
Socrates, you have the floor. Go for it.
yeah, I think it's better for colleague to do such things.
What, do you have a job?
I mean,
You see it, even though it doesn't pay anything.
Uh-huh. This is your job. Go ahead, tell us. What did you like last time? It was a big release. It was just that you were a kid and you did some stupid shit, went to the clink for a little bit. Who
Oh
cares?
yeah, well that's a
Come on now.
cliche thing. Yeah, everybody has those kind of stories. But
That's a
yeah,
good one.
That's nothing new. Like colleague stories, like I don't imagine myself. I mean, sure you can put yourself in those situations, but I can't imagine myself saying, "Yeah, I'm going to sprawl this woman out here on this concrete slab.
I didn't sprawl her.
I am going to
don't
film
think
it all."
he's putting himself in those
And-
situations. I think he winds up in those situations.
And
I didn't sprawl her out. She did
but
that on
you
her
know
own.
what's really important?
Slut.
I need to take this next call because I got another $5 to make. And I'm like,
Sorry, lady, you're gonna have to freeze.
Yeah,
Money's waiting. Daddy's got ducats on the phone. He's got
that's what makes the story the story. We've all done those things, like putting people on the sidewalk. But I don't know about taking the next
We've
call.
all done those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
Everybody
not
grows up with that
elder. Okay,
story.
maybe not elder. Maybe elders never experienced throwing people on sidewalks.
I've never abandoned.
He's more of a
anyone.
get off my lawn guy.
Yeah, you throw rocks at kids to get off your lawn, but that's it.
He's a Clint
And
Eastwood.
rocks hurling hot metal is what he means out of a barrel of a shotgun.
He's a Clint commander.
Yeah, and see, it was so weird. Like, I'm looking at my face, and I'm like, I'm not smiling or laughing about it because I'm like, yeah, we all really
Neither
have
am I.
thrown people on concrete. Colleague, back to you.
One time I was driving and I almost ran somebody over because they walked out in front of my car. But I saw them way ahead of time. I just wasn't swerving. I wasn't slowing down. I just kept on driving. And they were one of those homeless people that just didn't care. But I had passengers in my car. They're in the back. Apparently they were lawyers.
You mean
So
witnesses?
when they saw how close that was, we were just talking and everything was relaxed. And I'm just driving. I didn't swerve or nothing. I stayed true to the path. I could have there's 4 lanes. I could have went into any one of those lanes, but I just didn't care enough. I was like, well, if I hit them, I hit them. It's their problem. So I was driving.
He dies.
Yeah, gun's a gun. And as soon as I probably came within a centimeter of clipping I thought I was gonna clip with my mirror. All of a sudden the lawyer in the back seat, he just stopped the conversation mid-conversation. He's like, "Hey, bro, you should
Bro, don't
you should
do
give me a
that. That's
call."
5 to 10.
Yeah, he gave me a business card. He's like, "You should give me a call if you ever do run over one of these people." And I was like, "All right, man." He's like, "Yeah, I'm some kind of attorney, criminal defense attorney or something like that." So he's like, "Yeah, you should give me a call, man." I was like, "Okay, cool."
Oh, say, can you see? What an American story.
That's what I'm saying. So it was pretty cool. I felt liberating. Like, I honestly didn't think anything of it. It happened all the time when I was driving, so it was nothing to me.
Shit,
But
that's
you're missing
insane.
people.
Yeah. Like one lady, I hit her with my mirror because she was standing in the middle of the street. It was it wasn't a street. It was actually a parking lot, and it was a zoo parking lot, and it was a bad parking lot.
Oh, shit.
So this girl is out there flirting with her boyfriend, and there's this group of, I don't know, 20-somethings, and they're just standing in the middle of the street, in the middle of the parking lot, and there's a whole line of
They're
traffic
supposed to be in the
behind
zoo.
me. Yeah, maybe, but they didn't get the memo, I guess. So I'm driving, and they're still not moving. So I hit her with my mirror on purpose, and she's like, "Ow!" And I just kept driving, and then I moved up in the line. And then all of a sudden, somebody knocks on my window, and I have passengers. I have these 4 big guys in my car, and we're all cool. We're all talking. These 3 guys and his girlfriend come knock on the window, and they're like, "Hey, you just hit my girlfriend." And I was like, "I'll tell her not to stand in the middle of the street. I don't know. What do you want from me?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, why don't you get out? We'll finish this right now." And I was like, "All right, cool." So I turn over and look at my passengers, and I'm looking at them.
Hey guys,
And I was like,
for me?
"How do you guys feel about this? You guys, you guys cool with this?" If and they were like, "Yeah, bro, we'll back you up. Let's do this." So, and I was like,
Hold
"These
on.
guys in my car are big, so I know who's about to win this match." So I'm like, we're talking, we're reasoning through it, and they're like, "Yeah, man, okay." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So I turned back around, and those guys were gone. Like I guess they punched my mirror or something, and then they left. So that was.
That's right. That mirror will think twice about hitting that car.
I know. I was like, oh, this is gay. I don't know. It just felt weird, and that's happened so many times. People get you all randy, and then they don't ever follow through.
Yeah, they don't follow through, and it's disappointing. It's a letdown.
Yeah, people don't have any moxie anymore like they used to.
Yeah.
No, but they do have arms. I don't know
Yeah,
if
I actually pictured this when you started talking. Go into the Discord and play the video I just put in there. You're gonna like it.
This is gonna be good.
Yeah, I wish I had good stories. I mean, at my age, you think I would. I have no real good stories. No good ones.
I'm sure you guys
ahead.
do. They're just not in the front of your mind right now.
I don't want to incriminate myself.
I
that's
always
another
knew
point,
that
yeah.
you had a certain type of mind, and it starts with a C, and it's a TV show.
I'm not sure what you're talking about, but I'm gonna play this clip that you
You're talking about the
posted.
Crimson Chin.
Oh well, I don't have one as much as most.
No, I'm thinking.
I
what
tried
this
to
is.
elude one with this little goatee,
Yeah.
but you know.
Oh, Crime
It
and
worked.
Punishment.
Oh, you're talking about Dostoevsky?
Yes.
Criminal Minds
Whatever doesn't incriminate you.
Yeah.
makes you stronger.
But here's this wonderful video.
A little excessive.
This is what colleague had.
I love this.
These were the best.
The Trunk Monkey Theft Retrieval System. Because sometimes getting your car back is
Gotta get you one of them.
another revolutionary idea.
Whoa,
You'll
man.
only find at Suburban Auto Group, pending approval by Department of Agriculture.
You need to buy a
Yeah,
Suburban.
good old trunk monkey. Yeah.
Mm,
That was the shit back in the day.
Yeah.
mm.
They got a bunch of them. They're all good.
Yeah, just look up trunk monkey and you'll get a kick. Yeah, it's funny stuff.
Yeah. That is rich.
You need one of them.
Advertisers were clever and funny.
Yeah. Now they'd think that you'd be implying it's a black guy or something, rather than just realizing it's a monkey. They would be like,
Or
"Well, what would people
animal
think?"
Cruelty. It's animal cruelty. You're forcing this monkey to guard your car by sitting in the trunk. That's animal
Like the
cruelty,
monkey
man.
doesn't have it doesn't have a sense of justice. These people are hypocrites. That PETA. I could talk shit against them all day long. I'd go, "Really? You don't think this monkey has a sense of what he's doing? He
Well, I
knows what
have-
he's doing. He's a good man. This
I
monkey."
think that picture showed that he had a magazine and some bananas back there, so he was obviously well taken care of.
He was in a waiting room waiting to be called upon. He's the
Yeah.
man of hard work and justice.
Yeah, yeah.
I wish
We
my
could all
car alarm
learn-
would go
I
off
think
and a
we could
big
all
monkey
learn
come out.
something. Hey, we could all learn something from Trunk Monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they would have used a human in that, I think it would have been implying a lot different things.
It
The
would not
human
be as
offing another
good.
human and dumping in the sea. I don't think they would have even got away with that back when that commercial first came out. So they had to use a monkey, which is kind of genius. They could have used a dog or something too.
Well, people
Next
find
it'll be a Tesla
humorous.
robot.
Oh yeah.
You see, that's what my mind is. Again, it's just how it works. It's like, maybe this was just a future acclamation, a psyop.
Of a robot.
Yeah,
Not
Strong.
that
right,
one.
right. It's your
That
there's something in your
security
car.
bot. I like this. A security bot in your car that guards it. If someone breaks in,
Mhm.
you know, it's just got one of those little cattle prod things that shoots out, and it just pip and then just hydraulic presses the body out.
Because
Genius.
a psyop has to do with trying to convince you with a narrative that you normally would think is offensive, but you have to justify it. Now, of course, if you get your car stolen, people would feel like, well, I want it to be protected. And of course, if it had an automated system, a way to eradicate the issue, and of course, they're just using an animal or a monkey or something here. But if you get used to the idea more, then maybe you'll say, hey, there's nothing wrong with having this hidden robot in the back that's going to chop your head off and throw you over the river. You shouldn't steal my car.
Well, maybe
Yeah,
they
that's a
maybe
bit
if people
extreme.
don't like that, they might just put a bomb in the car.
Now I
a
can't
little
have a
too
car.
extreme.
I feel like it'd be more.
We're trying to come up with solutions where the car is not bloodied or blown up.
Yeah, maybe it'd be more.
You wanted a little bloody.
Maybe it'd be more
Sorry.
beneficial if the steering wheel was just electrical or like a shock fence.
All the airbags deploy. That's it.
Yeah, but that's going to
got it.
destroy your car too. That's not beneficial for
Gonna
you.
blow your windshield.
The
If
car
someone
owner's not
steals
gonna
my
like it.
car, fuck it.
But if the steering wheel is all metal, and you know if it's got electrical currents, but unless it scans your retinal whatever, then you
Yeah,
can't
there's no
drive.
room
It's just
for
gonna
that to go wrong.
yeah.
Well,
Ooh,
you
I
know,
got a better one. Okay, I got it. You turn the car into a video game basically, and you lock all the doors, and you get to drive the criminal around in like jump them, like drive it off road, and
That's awesome.
yeah, you go. Fuck it, I'm gonna destroy my car, but this guy has to pay for it.
Tom,
Yes,
Didn't they make a movie of that?
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Where the guy tries to steal the car, and it's what's his name? I can't remember his name.
The guy that played it.
Hannibal Lecter. Hannibal Lecter. And
Okay.
he basically has a completely remote control car with all these devices and everything in it, and he basically tortures the guy because he's going to steal the car. I forget what it's
I
called.
think it's a
but
great idea.
yeah, but they made a whole movie out of it. Yeah.
Or electroshock on the steering wheel. You could always do that.
You have to start making them out of metal again, though.
Well, when colleague said that, it triggered my mind to another thing that was interesting this week. I was looking into is wireless appliances. You know how everybody now is used to the idea of wireless charging, but now you can buy, like, if you have a granite countertop, it's integrated with those coils, and then
Oh, like
these wire.
piezoelectric.
Yeah, and then so now your appliance devices have those coils, and so once you just move it over that coil, it starts activating. So they were using blenders, air fryers, and it was all wire. And as soon as they move it off, it automatically turns off. As soon as it moves on, it's actually activated. So if they can do
Those
stuff
things
like
get too
that,
hot though.
it could, but I'm sure they'll probably perfect it or something. But it was really cool because there's no wires whatsoever, and it's all wireless, and it's all interchangeable. The only reason I thought about it is because if you're saying, because people are, this is a hypothetical, could they put like electroshocking mechanisms in your steering wheel? Well, I think at this point we have the ability to do wireless electric train, and that's another thing. Finland is finally testing out the old Tesla wireless electricity. They're trying to get rid of all the electrical lines, and they're saying no
I
more
saw
electrical
that.
lines. It's all wireless.
Yeah, transmitted power.
Yeah, and so
That's
they're
stupid.
Thing of the future.
yeah, so they're over there doing that, and
iPhone's doing it too. They just came out with a new cord, a new plug-in.
yeah.
It's a magnetic one, kind of like the ones we use.
A wireless cord.
Well, it's not wireless. It's just a magnetic. It just connects magnetically to iPhone's port. But yeah, you're not going to
so
use it for anything
MagSafe.
else. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyways, so I know that they can definitely do that nowadays. So I guess they could, but
Yeah, but it wouldn't that screw up like frequency transmissions? Like if you had like you're trying to any type of frequency transmission, wouldn't it interrupt it and screw the signal up?
what's
Depends on
interesting
how
is
close the frequency was to what they were using. I
Yeah.
think they're completely separate. Like they're not close frequency wise.
I don't know if you guys remember. I talked about this probably
Well,
a
like
year
what about
ago.
Faraday situations? Hold on, but that's really weird. Like, would if people like do test circuits by shocking them? Wouldn't that do the same thing?
Not necessarily. You got to kind of be grounded,
Okay.
and it's got to be a point system too. Like I was saying, I think I talked about a year ago. This isn't new in the sense of the government's desire to do wireless transmission of electricity, not data, but electricity. So they have these testing satellites, and I think it was the University of Berkeley, but they set up these receivers here at the university. Not here. We're not. I always say here. Not
And then they
there.
beam it down.
Right, from these wireless, what they do is they got solar panels up there. They're absorbing the energy, and then they transmit wirelessly. Now think about the distance here, from low Earth orbit, and they're sending it down to this receiver at Berkeley, and it works. So if they have the ability to transmit electricity, not data, electricity,
Right.
at that distance, they've already figured out how to do this.
Yeah, but how
And-
are they doing that?
Yeah, I'm dubious.
I know how they're doing it. How are they doing it?
Well, you said you know.
I'm asking you.
You
But I
just
wanted to
said,
see
how
if
are they
you
doing
know.
it? I know how they're doing it.
I want to see if you know. I know how they're doing it. It's like really obvious. When I say it, you'll be like, oh yeah. If you don't already know.
Well, I guess it
So
depends on the switching mechanisms and different type of frequency protocols.
we said they're beaming down electricity, so it's not plasma, right?
No, 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 no.
They
They're
do it with
they're
lasers.
they're everything. Even your Wi-Fi is a microwave,
Right.
right?
So what happens when you lose transmission? You're going to short everything out.
If it's not in a centralized beam, higher frequencies are centralized beams, lower frequencies are wider spectrum. So I'm sure it's at a higher frequency, so they can centralize the beam's direction.
Sure, they couldn't centralize it though, right? It's going to be I
Well,
guess if it's following in low Earth orbit, I guess it could,
yeah,
right?
and of course you are dealing with the atmosphere. Just like inside our atmosphere, we utilize the ionosphere, so we can transmit ham radio signals or even LoRa signals distances because it's bouncing off of the ionosphere. So utilizing different spectrums, pointed frequencies, multiple switches, like there's probably a amplifier, like right before you get to a certain point in the atmosphere, it probably hits this amplifier and then it amplifies the signal and then reshoots the signal back into underneath that atmospheric level. And they might have two layers of that. Maybe it hits this first satellite, then it hits the second satellite that's closer to the atmosphere, and then maybe that shoots to a antenna that's on like one of those radio towers, and then that projects down to the university. I'm sure there's layers.
Yeah, and then how much power could you? Well, the more layers of complexity, the more points of failure. And so, like, how much are you losing by the time it gets to the actual end user versus like what they're beaming down and getting it efficiently out of being in space and not having an atmosphere? And does it just make more sense at that point to just use regular panels as like on Earth? You know what I mean?
Well, I think the real idea for them, because they wanted to test how efficient could they do it, and it worked. I think their real objective is what they wanted to do is figure out if they could utilize this to do low Earth transmission and moon transmission. Because, they've always propagated. They want to set up some, not just data, but electrical efficiencies if they want to build infrastructures on the moon. So
yeah.
If
I
there's
kind
a
of
way,
just inferred that as I was saying it. I'm like, oh yeah, well you could always have the sun if you're in orbit, so you
Right.
could always move it around.
Yeah, so I think
that's
it's more
interesting.
Reactor too.
it's more planetary, it's more moon, it's more faceted than just Earth, but it's kind of like the Dyson sphere construct, but just on a lower scale.
People are stealing electricity with with like a microwave receiver.
Well, you probably
Like-
could if you could tap into that, but
I'm sure you could.
I'm
That
sure,
depends
just like
on the
with
frequency.
anything, the lower the frequency, the harder it's going to be to tap into. But I'm sure they're going to
Can
have
it
a
even
tunneling
be low
system.
frequency?
I'm sure they're going to figure out a tunneling protocol at some point.
It looks like I'm just reading up on this really quick because I'm really, really curious about this. But it looks like RF radio frequency, RF wireless power transfer, transfers energy over the air. A device with RF power transfer capabilities can convert RF signals into a direct current signal to power its circuitry. So it's DC, it's not AC. um, Interesting. I'll have to do a little bit more research because it looks like they're starting to actually make breakthroughs on it. So this could be
Yeah, we
Pretty sure
talked
it's
about
very
it about
similar to like radio waves, isn't it? Isn't
yeah,
it like
yeah,
you?
RF, yep.
I mean, like in terms of like how big, like so, how many radios are listening to how big the frequency has to be? Is that a thing?
how many what?
Yeah, run that by me
Okay,
again.
so every time you have another listener on a radio station, wouldn't you need to increase the not the frequency, but the
The wattage.
Bandwidth.
It's the
the
amount of watts
wattage? That's
you're
it.
transmitting on. Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, that's how come some stations you get to. I don't know what these guys are up to here. Um, Sometimes you're able to get stations farther away from you, uh, and sometimes you'll drive outside your city and the radio signal's gone. It's how much wattage the stations are transmitting on.
Yeah.
So
Right, right. So it's basically exactly the same as like that concept.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing free, so yeah, you have to match amplitude, reception, use. So yeah, there's nothing free.
Yeah. So
No, I'm
you'd have
saying,
to
like, couldn't
increase it.
you-
Yes.
Couldn't you literally take radio waves out of the air then and just like steal them for power?
Well, the same way you can't just steal radio waves out of the air and listen to it, you need a device to do that. And the device that you
Yeah, an
have
antenna.
is a receiver. Yeah, but you need the receiver to trans.
Well, you
It-
could,
it
like,
needs-
if you created an
you need to
oscillational
change radio
system,
waves.
you
need
could.
the
Sure.
radio waves to sound, just like you would need a device to change those RF signals to back to power. And that device is the key. So if you don't have your hands on that device, then you're not going to be able to do. It won't do you any good.
I mean,
They're
you could
pretty
think about it
common, though,
like
those
a pump. You know, your speaker is just an oscillation of the sound wave. So if you could somehow convert a reverse oscillation, so let's say you absorb the frequency, which is just certain oscillations at certain intervals to project a certain type of sound, and then that speaker or something like that is oscillating, and that oscillation can be kind of like a turbine in some way to generate this oscillation into energy, then yeah, I guess in some way you could create like a turbine system.
They used to power radios in the Soviet Union with that concept. They were using quartz, I think.
They also
There's such
had
thing as a crystal radio.
yeah, they also had a ball with mercury inside of it.
We had the what do you call it, Tartarians?
Well, there's a bunch of buildings
Retardia.
Well, there is something interesting about mercury, and if you can spin it, get it in a circular rotation fast enough, it does create an electromagnetic field. Now,
Oh yeah.
Now, how efficient and who's doing this? Because the theory was, hey, you see all these old buildings? They got those metallic balls up there. And then, they had like those chickens that would spin when the wind moved. It's like, what if that was actually a turbine and it was moving mercury in there? And they figured it all out back in the day. And they were actually having electricity because they figured out if we could spin this mercury fast enough inside this using wind power, we could have some electricity.
I mean, they used to use mercury switches and stuff like that, but like, yeah, people are, they're like rediscovering like how they think that they discovered oil because they found tar on the road.
Yeah, shout out to fossil fuel.
Yep.
Fossil fuel.
We're going to be rich. There's tar all over the place.
Yeah, I don't know why people just aren't plowing up the roads. I mean, it's
They
all
would
money.
if they, I mean, it's coming. It's going to be on TikTok soon. There's going to be some genius that figures it out.
It's like we're going to convert this
Up the
to,
road, melt it down.
yeah, we're going to convert it to petroleum. We're selling it by the tons.
Yep, take
There's
all your
gonna,
old
remember, you
oil.
ever see that?
Hmm?
Go ahead.
I was about to say.
Ever heard of Mershak before?
Yeah, I know. Go ahead. I was just gonna say, just take all your old car oil, cycle it out, and dump it back in the ground.
Hmm.
Or put it in another container and sell it to folks.
Yeah, you could do that too.
50 cents.
Secondhand oil.
Yeah. Don't call it secondhand oil. It's experienced oil.
Yeah,
It's true. This
That's true.
oil, if it could tell a story, it would say that colleague dumped some lady off on the side of the road in 10-degree weather.
That's worth $5.
Now that's a storyteller. Tell me again. There's
shoot.
a puddle of oil.
Hey, that's
with
time,
eyes
folks.
And a cigar.
Shoot. Oh, darn. Man.
You have to tune in next week so you can hear the part 2 of all that.
Colleague Chronicles.
Jews Yeah, run
the
Hollywood.
Colleague Chronicles. I like that. And you can get more exclusively here at the Matrix Network. If you want more of the Colleague Chronicles, tune in next week.
Although
Next
apparently,
week, tune in
according
to
David
Who Runs
Zerm-
Hollywood. Sorry.
Oh, jeez. According to David Zerm, host, you have a prison story, which I guess we'll have to wait until next week for.
I've already
I've
shared
heard
it
it
before.
already.
I think he's reminiscing back to that.
Well, yeah, but not all of us were around, you know. There's some new folks. I mean,
I tell stories that are contextual because I'm always trying to add a layer of
Context.
application and wisdom, and hopefully allows people to think before their actions. I'm not like Colleague. Colleague just has this ability to just say, you know what, here's a real fun story, and let me share it with you.
It's science.
Colleague's a
I
man
almost
of
run this
instincts.
guy over. It was great.
I mean, it's a skill. I don't possess that.
Colleague's
so-
a man of pure instincts, and he felt like he had to get to that next 5 spot, and that lady wasn't going to stop him. It's
Yeah, it's
really
not-
it's a hero story.
It's not my
The-
fault.
the
My
chat-
frontal lobe
chat-
isn't fully developed yet.
Well, I think that
Chad is selling you guys out, man.
I think it's very useful as well. I think there's people like me that it's not as useful, but that's why everybody needs to work together. Like, here we go. Now I'm going to tell you an analogy about something so you can understand my point. But it's like it's like a watch. There's big cogs, there's small cogs, but it's all together for the objective to collect. So we
All
can
cogs.
have good time. We want accurate time. But when somebody starts projecting their value greater than another thing, no matter what your appearance is, you stop caring about time. You start caring about the cogs. And so I think everybody has their place and everybody has their thing.
You know who thought time was a construct?
Yeah, we could talk about that too.
Jeffrey Epstein.
He liked cogs.
Yeah, I guess you could call him that if you will. You should tune in this week. Collie brings some more interesting cogs, tidbits. Something I never
at
saw
the
before, and
cogs
it's
on that
legit.
bot.
I mean, it's probably more legit than the other stuff, because the other stuff he brought in last week, we've heard those things. But this week, especially the video game thing, that's really legit. You can't fake that. So you guys tune in this Saturday for this week's episode, Nantucket, the 10th wonder of the world. I think you guys will enjoy it, but yeah, that's actually crazy because Xbox had to put that out. They're actually the distributor of that game. But anyways,
I don't even know what you're talking about.
you'll see if you watch this week's episode. You'll see the cog.
I'm only watching if our dear elder's there.
Oh, he's there this week.
Yep. They wrote me
That's
in.
right.
I hope you guys have been enjoying Elder's contribution with all that too. But like colleague said, that is time, and I appreciate David Zern. He remembers my story. I am shocked that he did, but yeah. And Balzania,
I
as
do need
always.
to hear the midget story. I do
Yeah, I was
need to
gonna
hear
say,
it.
Bean Burrito sold you out. He said colleague should share his midget story, so I guess we'll have to wait for next week.
Oh
for that.
no, not colleague's midget story. we don't know if we can go. You get banned for that one.
Oh, no.
DHS takes you down.
No, this is
Yeah.
deeper than that. This is you're gonna have. You think PETA's bad?
I don't think it's that bad. I mean,
Of course not. You're the guy who's like, I gotta make $5. But anyways,
Give me
that's
a 5
fine.
spot. I'll kick that guy across the football field.
You guys have to stay tuned to next week for the Colleague Chronicles, and we'll see what stories. Maybe he'll release the
and you'll have
files.
to mention it too, because otherwise it's out of sight, out of mind. Nobody's thinking
Well,
he has-
anything like that.
He has a
seeing us
billion
building-
stories in there.
I'm seeing us building a structure here where we're going to have the Colleague Chronicles, and we're going to have Will That Burn?
Yeah, I like.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's another thing. That's good. You reminded me.
Let's
Yeah,
throw that story in the campfire. Get a little hot.
Yeah, I got to get
Yeah.
that. I got to get what was that thing called? The
Ramen.
Fire.
yeah, what's what's the
Fla-
the
Flamethrower.
the thing you put
Oh.
everything in?
Always
Colisk.
wanted a flamethrower.
I don't
Always a
know.
sinner
The thing you
on
burn
that
stuff.
guy.
Basilisk. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, Rocco's. But anyways, that's all the time we have for this week. I appreciate Ted. I appreciate Tom, as always. Appreciate Iron Man, David Zern, Bean Burritos.
I appreciate Iron Man the most.
Yeah,
The rest
Iron
you
Man,
go
of
fuck
course. He's
yourself.
always faithful. And Balzania and everybody else that tune in.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Happy Pistachio Day, everyone, too. Almost forgot. Wow.
I
That
love
would've been bad.
pistachios.
Yeah.
Right in the pistachios, the midget
Yep.
said to colleague.
Well, yeah, you can't get
It's just a
started.
little snippet.
But guys, tune in this Saturday. I think it's going to be a fun one. And if you haven't visit Nantucket, I think you will after you watch this week's episode.
Road trip. I'm telling you, man. I think it's going to be a road trip.
Come on, boys, we're going to Retardia.
Me and Tom's going to drive up there.
Yeah, you guys can
Right,
be
Tom,
our
road trip?
spokespersons.
Road trip to Retardia.
Anyways, that's all we got for this week's episode, and we will
That's time.
we will see all of you guys next week. And as always, we appreciate all you guys. But until next time, this has been the Matrix Network. We'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.